All you need is a reason. Not 100 reasons, just one. One reason to keep moving forward when everything around you is telling you to stop. One reason to get up in the morning when you'd rather hide under the covers. One reason to take that risk, to show up when it's uncomfortable, to say yes when every muscle in your body is screaming no. A reason is stronger than motivation, stronger than talent, stronger than fear. When you have your why, you can go through hell and keep going. A reason isn't something you borrow. It isn't something someone hands to you. You don't find it in a book or on a podcast. You dig for it. You reach deep down and you uncover it. Your why is the thing that keeps you going after failure, after heartbreak, after rejection, after pain. It's the fire that keeps burning even in the dark. You don't need everything to make sense. You just need your reason. You will not succeed because it's easy. You will succeed because you found a reason that matters more than your excuses. A reason that matters more than being liked. A reason that matters more than comfort. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be noble. It doesn't have to be pretty. But it does have to matter to you. Because when it matters enough, you will change your whole life to chase it. People always talk about discipline like it's a skill, like it's something you can learn in a book. But discipline comes from your why. The stronger your reason, the less you hesitate. You won't need motivation every morning. You won't need a hype song or a caffeine jolt or a crowd cheering you on. Because when your why is strong enough, you show up anyway. No one needs to remind you. The truth is, we all get tired. We all want to quit. But the people who win, the people who build something real, they remember their reason in the middle of the storm. When it's cold, when it's late, when nobody is watching, they dig back into their why and keep swinging. You only stop when the pain becomes bigger than the reason. So make your reason bigger than the pain. And you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to have every answer. But you do need to know why you're still trying. Why you started. Why you can't stop now. You need a reason to silence the doubt. A reason that holds steady when everything else shakes. That's your anchor. People will doubt you. That's normal. People will talk. Let them. People will disappear. Let them. You are not doing this for them. You are doing this for the part of you that refuses to settle. You are doing this because there is something inside of you that knows you were made for more. And that reason, whatever it is sacred. Guard it. You will have days where you question everything. You will feel stuck. You will feel weak. You will feel broken. But your why will remind you, this isn't the end. This is just a test. A fire that sharpens the blade, a hammer that shapes the steel. The weight you carry right now, it's not to crush you, it's to carve you. If you forget everything else, remember this, all you need is a reason. Because reasons outlast willpower, they outlast hype, they outlast the crowd. And if you can't find your why, sit in silence, turn off the noise, stop pretending you don't know, you do. You know what matters to you. You know what you're afraid of.
There's DNA. Then there's heavy-duty DNA.
You know what keeps you up at night. That's where your reason is hiding. Stop chasing perfection. Stop waiting for the right moment. There's no right time. There's only right now. And if you waste enough of those, you will end up living a life that you don't recognize. You'll end up with a mind full of regrets and a heart full of stories that never got told. You are writing your story right now, and your reason, your why, is the pen. When you find your why, you stop making excuses, you stop blaming people, you stop waiting, you stop settling, you start changing. You start acting, you start becoming, and that's the hardest part, starting. Because the minute you start, your old life starts to fade. Your old mindset starts to fight you. The fear will whisper, "This isn't you." The pain will say, "You're not strong enough." But your why, your reason, will rise up and say, "Keep going, we're not done yet." You think you're stuck? You're not stuck. You're stalled. Because somewhere along the way you forgot why you started. You forgot what you wanted. You forgot who you said you would become. So remind yourself, write it down, tape it to the wall, tattoo it on your soul. You are not done yet. Everything is built in the moments no one sees, the workouts in silence, the decisions when you're exhausted, the small repeated actions that no one claps for. That's where greatness is forged. That's where your reason matters most. Because no one's cheering for you there, no one's posting about you, but you're doing it anyway. Why? Because your reason demands it. Some people want comfort. Some people want approval. You want growth. You want power. You want peace. You want legacy. And none of those things come free. You will have to pay for them in time, sweat, tears, and belief. And when it gets hard, because it will get hard, that's when you remember why you started. And that's when you decide not to give up, not to fold, but to fight, to keep showing up, to become the person who finishes what they started. Stop chasing motivation. Chase meaning. Stop chasing shortcuts. Chase your soul. Because what you're building right now, it matters. Even if nobody claps, even if nobody sees it, one day, someone will say thank you for not quitting. One day, someone will look at your life and say, that's what's possible. One day, you'll look in the mirror and say, I'm proud of you. But none of that happens if you don't find your reason. So ask yourself, what's my reason? Why does this matter? What am I willing to suffer for? What would I do even if I had to do it alone? What would I keep fighting for, even if I got nothing in return but growth? That's your why. That's your power. That's your engine. Don't wait for someone to give you permission. Don't wait for someone to believe in you. Believe in yourself enough to take the first step, and the second, and the 10th. Even if your legs are shaking, even if you're scared, you don't need perfect timing. You need a reason that outlasts the fear. This is your life, and it's ticking, every second, every day. The clock doesn't pause when you hesitate. You either move toward your why, or you drift further away from it. Every choice, every yes, every no, it adds up. Don't waste it. Be the person who decided not to wait. Be the one who looked fear in the face and moved anyway. Be the one who made the hard choices because they were the right ones. Be the one who didn't let excuses win. Be the one who found a reason and let it carry them through hell. Because you can. You are capable of more than you know. You are stronger than you think. But strength doesn't just appear. You build it. You suffer for it. You earn it. And you earn it by deciding, right now, that this is not where the story ends. This is where it begins. And your reason is the first word on the page. So don't stop. Don't fold. Don't apologize for wanting more. Just go. Chase the reason. Hold it tight. Let it pull you through the darkness. Let it wake you up in the morning. Let it put you to sleep with pride. Let it build a life you won't want to escape from. Because here's the truth. If you don't find your why, life will assign one to you. And it won't be a good one. It'll be survival. Just making it. Just getting by. You'll be handed responsibilities you didn't choose. You'll carry burdens that don't mean anything to you. You'll wake up every day to a life you never actually built. Just one that happened to you. And deep down, you'll know you traded your purpose for safety. Don't live by accident. Live on purpose. The people who change the world aren't the smartest. They're not the fastest. They're not the most gifted. They're the ones who knew why they started.
Golden, fluffy, and made straight from the griddle, the delicious taste of Eggo is less than 40 cents per waffle. Wait, that's less than 40 cents? That joy is less than 40 cents? Sold. Wholesome breakfast and less than 40 cents a waffle. No one says no to Eggo.
What excites me about being a product manager now is that I can move and iterate much faster. I can use Claude to test my product ideas before I even get anyone else in the...
And never let that flame go out. The ones who heard the same voices you hear. It's too late. You're not ready. You'll never make it. And they kept going anyway. That's the only difference. Let other people wait. Let them hesitate. Let them scroll their lives away. Let them talk about someday. You're not them. You've got something to build. You've got something to prove, not to them, but to yourself. You've got a future self waiting for you. Not hoping, waiting, watching, expecting you to move. That future self isn't built by chance. It's built by reason. The world is noisy. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone has advice. But no one else has to live your life. No one else has to carry your regrets. No one else has to live with your choices. So stop outsourcing your life to people who wouldn't even trade places with you. Find your why and protect it like it's your oxygen. Because it is. People get lost chasing what other people want. They start building someone else's dream, living someone else's idea of success. And then they wake up one day with everything, and they're empty. You know why? Because they never asked why they were chasing it in the first place. That's how you end up running the wrong race. Fast, loud, proud, but wrong. The real flex? Knowing who you are and why you're here. That's unshakable. That doesn't break when people walk away. That doesn't fade when the applause stops. That doesn't crumble when you lose. Because you're not in it for the trophy. You're in it for the truth. And that truth, your reason, is your compass. Look around. Everyone's chasing something. Status, likes, approval, comfort. You're chasing impact, legacy, growth, the quiet pride of knowing you didn't settle. And that path, it's narrow, it's lonely, it's hard, but it's worth it. Because one day, when it's all said and done, you'll know, I showed up, I gave everything, I lived like I meant it. You only get one shot at this, one ride, one story, and your reason, it's the plot line. The deeper it is, the better the story. If your reason is shallow, your story will be forgettable. If your reason is real, your story will live forever. The reason you push yourself is not to be better than others. It's to be better than the version of you who gave up too soon. The version who doubted, who played small, who thought maybe someday was a strategy. Every single day you wake up, you get to write a new page. So write it with purpose. People ask what drives you. The answer should be simple. My reason. I don't need external fuel. I don't need validation. I've got a reason. I've got a mission, that's enough. If I fall, I get back up. Because the reason is still there. If I fail, I try again. Because the reason didn't go anywhere. If I lose people along the way, I keep walking. Because the reason matters more. You can take everything from a person. Money, titles, respect, freedom. but you can't take their reason. And if you hold on to it tight enough, you'll always have power. You'll always have direction. You'll always have the will to take the next step. So if you're tired, that's fine. Just don't stop. If you're scared, okay, just don't shrink. If you're lost, pause. And remember why you started. That's the map, that's the light. That's the fuel. That's the anchor in the storm. That's what separates the ones who keep going from the ones who fold. Your why is personal. No one else has to get it. No one else has to approve. No one else has to understand. It's yours. And if it lights a fire in you, that's all that matters. The world will tell you to be realistic. Screw that. Be unreasonable. Be relentless. Be obsessed with the reason you wake up. And move with purpose. Because the world doesn't give success to the people who ask politely. It gives it to the ones who refuse to quit. Your reason is the edge. It's what gets you through late nights. It's what wakes you up early. It's what keeps you studying, training, building, dreaming, when others have given up. It's what keeps your head down and your standards high. It's what helps you say no when distractions come calling. Because when you know your reason, you don't waste energy on things that don't matter. People waste years waiting for motivation. You don't have years. You've got now. That's all you ever have. And when you know why you're doing it, now is always enough. Now is powerful. Now is urgent. Now is where you shift the momentum of your entire life. You want a better life. Find a better reason. A reason that scares you a little. A reason that stretches you. A reason that makes your heart beat faster. A reason that keeps whispering there's more in you. Go find it. A reason that makes quitting impossible. A reason that makes you cry when you think about it too long. A reason that humbles you. That silences the noise. That makes your fear look small. That burns hot in your chest when the lights are off and no one's watching. That's the kind of reason you need. Because the hard truth is the days are going to get darker before they get brighter. You will be tested. You will feel abandoned. You'll question everything. You'll wonder if any of this matters. You'll ask yourself if the sacrifices are worth it. And if you don't have a reason, you'll quit. That's the pattern. No reason, no fuel. No fuel, no forward. But when you do have a reason, you push past the wall. You make something out of nothing. You show up when you've got nothing left to give. You create momentum with grit alone. And every day that you keep going, your reason grows stronger. It embeds itself in your bones. It becomes a part of who you are. You stop thinking about quitting and start thinking about how to keep going. Every person you admire, the ones who inspire you, who built something real, they all started with a reason. Not a perfect plan, not a perfect setup, a reason. And they held on to it when everything said, let go. When the dream looked foolish, when the bank account was empty, when no one was clapping, they remembered why they started. That's what made them unstoppable. You've got that power too. But you've got to stop running from the work. You've got to stop acting like time is infinite. It's not. You've got to stop pretending that your current level of effort will magically get you to your next level of life. It won't. You've got to choose now to live with purpose. Because drifting is death. And your why is the only lifeline that will pull you out. Ask yourself, what's worth suffering for? Because life will make you suffer. That's guaranteed. The only choice you have is what you suffer for. Will you suffer for comfort and end up numb? Or suffer for greatness and end up free? Choose greatness. Choose a fight. Choose the road that demands something of you, because that's the only road that gives something back. That's the road that reveals your strength. That's the road that exposes your real limits, then dares you to go past them. Your reason is not a slogan. It's not something you post on social media. It's not something you tell other people to impress them. It's what you whisper to yourself when you feel like dying inside. It's what keeps your hands moving when they're shaking. It's what lifts your chin when the weight on your shoulders says drop it all. It is your reason, yours alone. You're not chasing success. You're chasing alignment. Alignment with who you're becoming, with what you know deep down you're capable of. That is the win. That is the prize. Not applause, not money, not trophies. Becoming the person you were born to be, that's the goal. And that's a fight worth bleeding for. Let them laugh, let them mock you, let them doubt. Your reason isn't up for debate. You don't owe anyone proof, just progress. You don't owe them explanations, just results. And even if no one sees it, you will know. You'll know the war you fought every morning. You'll know the demons you defeated every night. You'll know how far you've come. And that knowledge, that's power, that's peace. When the world goes quiet.
This summer at Sonic, take a trip with the Tropical Heat Sonic Smasher. Drizzled with jalapeno pineapple glaze and the Tropical Cream Slush with coconut and pineapple. Try the Tropical Duo this summer at Sonic.
My moderate to severe ulcerative colitis symptoms kept me out of the picture. Now, I have Skyrizi.
Keeping my plans, I'm feeling free. Control of how you see means everything to me. Control is everything to me.
Now, I'm back in the picture. Skyrizi is proven to help deliver relief, repair, and remission. Feel significant symptom relief as early as 4 weeks, including fewer bowel movements and less bleeding. Skyrizi is proven to help visibly repair colon lining damage at 12 weeks and 1 year. Plus, Skyrizi helps people achieve lasting remission.
Don't use if allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or UC.
Take control of your UC with Skyrizi. Ask your doctor about the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and UC combined.
When everything goes dark, and it's just you and your thoughts, what do you hear? Do you hear excuses? Do you hear shame? Or do you hear your reason rising above the noise, reminding you that you were never supposed to quit? Every battle you win begins in that moment, that quiet moment, when no one else is watching, when nothing is certain, when it's just you and your why. That's where the real work happens. That's where the real you shows up. That's where transformation begins. You don't need more time. You need more intention. You don't need better conditions. You need a better reason. Because once you find that, nothing else matters. Weather doesn't matter. Mood doesn't matter. People's opinions don't matter. You're locked in. And the world can't stop a human being locked in on their purpose. So go find it, or remember it, or rebuild it if you have to. But don't keep living without it. Don't keep going through the motions, pretending that numb is normal. You are meant to be more. You feel it. You just keep ignoring it. Stop ignoring it. Let it hurt. Let it burn. Let it pull you back to life. All you need is a reason. One real reason. One deep, personal, raw, undeniable why. Everything else, the hustle, the grind, the growth, the breakthroughs, it all comes from that. And once you find it, protect it, feed it, follow it. Let it take you places your fear could never go. Let it stretch you. Let it mold you. Let it make you the person you were born to become. Because that is your power. You just need purpose. That's it. That's the one thing that changes everything. When you don't know your why, you drift. You hesitate. You start things and never finish. You wake up tired, not because your body is weak, but because your spirit has no direction. But when you know why you're doing this, why you're grinding, why you're showing up, why you refuse to quit, it flips a switch. Purpose lights a fire that keeps burning even when you're exhausted, even when no one's watching, even when it's hard. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need something that matters, a reason, a goal, a mission that hits you deep in your chest. That's the difference between someone who makes excuses and someone who makes progress. People with a purpose don't wait for perfect conditions. They move, they act, they build. And yeah, maybe they fall, maybe they fail. But they get up every single time because they remember why they started. You're not lazy, you're not broken, you're not weak. You're just disconnected from your why. That's the root of it. It's not about motivation, it's about meaning. And you find that meaning by getting honest with yourself. What do you care about? What hurts you when you see it in the world? What excites you when you imagine doing it? That's where the seed of purpose lives. Some people wait their whole lives for purpose to fall into their lap. Don't be one of them. Go find it. Hunt for it. Try things. Fail at things. Ask hard questions. Get quiet with yourself. The world doesn't owe you a reason, but you owe it to yourself to dig deep and find one. Because once you do, once you lock into that purpose, it's game over. You stop quitting, you stop doubting, you stop caring what anyone thinks. You're too busy chasing the thing that matters to you. You don't need to be the smartest, the strongest, or the most talented. That's not what wins. What wins is hunger. What wins is obsession. And purpose feeds both. Purpose makes you dangerous, not in a reckless way, but in a focused way. Because when you've got a reason that means everything to you, you start showing up different. You train harder, you think clearer, you stop getting distracted by the noise, by the critics, by the nonsense. You don't care about comfort anymore. You care about becoming who you're supposed to be. Purpose doesn't make life easy, it makes it worth it. It gives pain a reason, it gives struggle a shape. When you feel like giving up, purpose reminds you, not yet, not now. You still have work to do. It drags you out of bed when you don't feel like it. It pushes you to keep going when your body says no, but your soul says yes. People with purpose, they're not waiting to be rescued. They're building the boat, rowing through the storm, aiming straight at the horizon. Look around. Everyone wants success, but most people don't want it enough to suffer for it. That's the difference. Purpose makes you willing to suffer. Not because you enjoy the pain, but because you know what's on the other side. You know what you're chasing. You know who you're becoming. And every drop of sweat, every setback, every long night.
There's DNA. Then there's heavy-duty DNA. HDNA. Get 4.9% APR plus $2,000 purchase cash on GMC Sierra heavy-duty Denali models.
One killing to answer for. Half the kindness still owed. When the kindness is spent, only the killing stays.
You walked in, you won't walk out!
The last guest has arrived. Please, take your seats.
Mountains of the dead, and I stand on top.
It all becomes fuel. You don't run from the grind. You live in it. You become one with it. And here's the truth most people won't tell you. Your purpose doesn't have to impress anyone. It doesn't have to be flashy. It doesn't have to be what the world expects. It just has to be real. It has to be yours. Maybe your why is your family. Maybe it's proving to yourself that you're not your past. Maybe it's building something that lasts longer than you. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that it moves you, that it drives you, that it wakes you up and keeps you going long after motivation fades. Purpose gives your pain a reason and your wins a weight. Without it, even success feels hollow. But with it, even the losses make sense. Even the dark days have value. Because when you know your why, every step becomes part of the plan. You stop second guessing. You stop comparing. You stop chasing someone else's version of success. You're too busy chasing your own. Some people waste years waiting for permission, waiting for someone to tell them they're allowed to go after what they want. Forget that. Purpose doesn't ask for permission. It demands action. It tells you to stop watching, stop waiting, and start. Start small if you have to. Start scared. Start unsure. But start. Purpose rewards movement. The moment you move, the path begins to show up. And don't let anyone talk you out of it. Not the people who don't believe in you. Not the ones who gave up on their own dreams and now want to pull you down. That's noise. You've got something they can't see. A reason. A fire. A vision. That makes you dangerous. That makes you rare. Protect that. Fuel it. Fan it until it becomes a blaze that no one can put out. It's not going to be perfect. You'll stumble. You'll question yourself. You'll feel lost some days. That's normal. That's part of the climb. But purpose keeps you climbing. It whispers, keep going when doubt screams, give up. It reminds you that every struggle is shaping you. Every challenge is training you. It's not wasted. None of it is wasted when you've got a why behind it. And don't think you need a massive, world-changing purpose to begin. Purpose grows. Sometimes it starts as a spark. Just a small voice that says, I was made for more. Listen to that voice. Feed it. Let it guide you. Keep showing up, even when you don't feel ready. Because ready is a myth. The truth is, the world moves for those who move first. So write it down, say it out loud, put it where you can see it. Your why is your compass. When life throws chaos your way, when plans break down, when everything feels like too much, your why cuts through the noise and gives you something solid to hold on to. It says, this is who I am, this is where I'm going, and nothing's gonna stop me. You just need purpose. Find your why, and when you do, don't look back. And once you find it, own it. Don't whisper it. Don't downplay it. Don't apologize for wanting something bigger. This is your life, your time, your fight. Stop living like it doesn't matter. It does. You do. And when your purpose is clear, your steps get stronger, your voice gets louder, your presence hits different. People feel it when you walk in the room. That quiet confidence, that fire behind your eyes. It's not ego, it's certainty. Purpose makes you impossible to break. You can bend, sure, you can stumble, but break, no. Because when you've got something to live for, you always get back up. You always find a way. The world will throw everything at you. Doubt, fear, failure, rejection. Let it. Let it try. Because purpose doesn't fold. Purpose stands up. Purpose fights back. You'll start seeing things differently. The stuff that used to scare you, now it motivates you. The obstacles that felt like walls, now they're tests, meant to be passed, not avoided. You become that person, the one who doesn't flinch, the one who keeps moving forward when others freeze, not because it's easy, because it matters. People will ask, why do you try so hard? And your answer will be simple, because I've got something worth fighting for. That's what they won't understand until they see it. Until they see how purpose makes you consistent. While they chase moods, you chase meaning. While they wait to feel motivated, you move because you're called. And every step you take puts you closer to the life you were meant to live. And yeah, you'll outgrow some people. You'll leave some comfort zones. You'll lose some things along the way. But what you gain, focus, direction, power, peace. Not the peace that comes from avoiding struggle, but the peace that comes from walking through fire and knowing exactly why you're doing it. So don't waste another minute wandering. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a real reason. A reason that makes your heart beat faster. A reason that pulls you out of bed when you're tired and shows up in your thoughts when the world goes quiet. That's what purpose is. It's not always loud, but it's always present. Find your why, then bet everything on it. Go all in. No plan B, no backup. Burn the boats. Let the world call you crazy. Let them doubt you. Let them laugh, because someday soon they'll stop laughing and they'll start asking how you did it. Your why is your anchor and your wings. It keeps you grounded when the storm hits, and it lifts you when nothing else can. When life gets dark, and it will, your why is what gives you light. It's what keeps your hands moving when you're out of strength. It's what reminds you who you are when you've forgotten. That's the thing about purpose. It remembers you, even when you don't recognize yourself anymore. Don't confuse purpose with perfection. You don't have to be flawless to chase what matters. You just have to be honest. Be real with yourself. Say what you want out loud, even if your voice shakes, especially if it shakes. That's where it starts. That first brave sentence, that decision to stop drifting and start driving. You've been told to settle, told to be realistic, told to keep your head down. Forget all that. Be the person who dares, the person who asks more from life, the one who doesn't fold when it gets hard, but locks in tighter. You're not here to play it safe. You're here to build something that means something. You're here to wake up every day and move with purpose. Not just survive, but live with your chest out and your mind focused. And if you don't know your why yet, that's okay, but don't sit still. Start searching. Get quiet. Turn down the noise. Ask yourself the hard questions. What would you fight for, even if no one clapped? What would you chase if no one ever noticed? Your why is there. It's been waiting on you. You just have to get honest enough and brave enough to claim it. You don't have to do this alone, but you do have to do it for yourself. Not for approval, not for applause, for you. For the future version of you that's watching right now, hoping you choose to begin. So start. Start with what you have. Start with where you are. You don't need all the answers. You just need the reason. The reason to take the first step. The reason to not quit this time. The reason to believe, even if nobody else does. Your purpose isn't just about what you do. It's about who you become while doing it. That's what most people miss. It's not about the finish line. It's about the fight. The person you become by refusing to quit, by showing up when it's hard, by pushing when you've got nothing left. That's purpose in motion. That's power in action. And that's what separates the average from the unstoppable. People will try to box you in, tell you what your life should look like, what you're supposed to want, but they don't live in your body. They don't hear the voice in your head that keeps whispering, "There's more." And if you ignore that voice, if you bury your purpose under fear, comfort, or distractions, you'll feel it every single day. That quiet regret, that ache in your chest. That's the price of ignoring your why. But if you choose to listen, everything shifts. That voice becomes louder. It starts guiding your decisions. You stop settling. You stop wasting time on things that don't feed your soul. You stop living someone else's life and finally step into your own. Purpose gives your life shape. It gives your days meaning. It gives your actions a point. And when the setbacks come, and they will come, you won't fold. You'll adjust. You'll take the hit and keep moving. Because your why is stronger than any excuse. Stronger than fear. Stronger than doubt. That's what makes purpose the most powerful fuel on earth. It doesn't fade. It doesn't flicker. It burns steady, quiet, unshakable. So stop waiting, stop doubting, stop holding back. This is your moment. This is your chance to draw a line and say, from this day forward, I move with purpose. Not for likes, not for status, but for something real. For something that wakes you up and refuses to let you sleep on yourself. And that's the point, to never live the same again. Once you find your why, the old version of you dies. The version that played small. The version that made excuses. The version that waited for the perfect time. The perfect plan. The perfect mood. That person can't survive in the presence of purpose. Because purpose doesn't wait. Purpose demands. It demands you rise earlier. Work harder. Focus sharper. It demands you cut out what drains you and double down on what builds you. It forces you to grow, to stretch, to become uncomfortable, and then to get comfortable in that discomfort. That's how you rise. That's how you level up. And you'll start to notice your standards change. What used to be good enough starts to feel like settling. You want more, not because you're greedy, but because you finally see what's possible. You realize you were never lacking talent. You were just lacking direction. Purpose gives you that direction. It sharpens you. It humbles you. And it gives you a fire that never goes out. You become magnetic, not because of how you look or what you have, but because of how you move. With intention, with clarity, with a reason behind every step. People feel that. They see that. They respect that. Even if they don't understand it. Especially if they don't understand it. But don't chase purpose to impress anyone. Chase it because you're tired of drifting.
Walking in the sunshine, sing a little sunshine song.
Off for adults and kids. Fragrance-free and non-greasy. Mosquito and tick repellent, you both can agree on.
SC Johnson.
Because you know deep down you were made for more. Because you've been quiet for too long. And it's time to make some noise. Not out there, but in here. In your own mind. In your own life. This is where it shifts. No more wondering. No more waiting. No more someday. This is the moment you start walking towards something real. And you keep walking. Through fear, through failure, through fatigue, step after step, day after day, until that purpose that once felt like a dream becomes your normal. Because once, it changes everything. You won't want to go back. Not to the old routines, not to the empty habits, not to the version of you that moved without direction, lived without fire, and settled for just enough. That version served its time. But now you're built different. Now you've got vision. You've got purpose. And that changes how you move through the world. You stop chasing quick wins. You play the long game. You're not just trying to get through the week. You're building a legacy. You're not working for approval. You're working for alignment, for peace, for meaning. And that's rare. That's powerful. That's what makes people look at you and say, what happened to them? And the answer is simple. You found your why. Your energy starts to match your mission. You walk straighter, speak clearer, think deeper. You become more patient, but not passive, more focused, but not cold. You have no time for drama, for distractions, for things that pull you away from what matters. You're dialed in, and when life tries to knock you off course, and it will, you don't fall apart. You recenter, you realign, because purpose gives you a compass. You realize it's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. It's not about doing everything, it's about doing what matters. You might not have all the answers, but you've got your reason, and that's enough to carry you through the unknown. So if you're tired, good. That means you're moving. If you're scared, even better. That means you're growing. Keep going. Keep building. Keep choosing your purpose every single day. Even on the days you feel like quitting. Especially on those days. Because those are the days that shape you. This isn't hype. This isn't fantasy. This is discipline. This is belief. This is what happens when you stop living by default and start living by design. Purpose is the blueprint. Your why is the foundation. Everything else, that's just construction. Because going back means going blind again. Back to wandering. Back to wondering if there's more. Back to that quiet ache of knowing you're capable of greatness, but doing nothing about it. And once you've tasted purpose, once you've seen what it's like to live with fire in your chest and clarity in your mind, there's no way you can unsee it. You won't fit into small spaces anymore. You won't settle for empty conversations. You won't let distractions own your time. You're no longer just existing, you're building. And here's the truth no one tells you. Purpose doesn't come gift-wrapped. It doesn't show up with instructions. It shows up when you start doing the work, when you take action, when you lean into discomfort, when you stop asking, what if I fail, and start asking, what if I don't? What if you win? What if you rise? What if everything changes? That's what your why can do. It makes you dangerous to doubt. It makes you powerful in silence. You don't have to scream to be heard. Your discipline speaks. Your growth speaks. Your progress speaks. That's what purpose looks like. It's not loud. It's relentless. You begin to trust yourself again, because every day you choose to move with purpose is another day you prove to yourself that you're serious. You're committed. You're done playing small. You show yourself that you're worthy of the life you keep dreaming about. And the more you show up, the more that dream becomes reality. Not by chance, but by choice. People will call it luck. They'll say you got a break. But they won't see the nights you stayed up, the mornings you pushed through, the tears, the self-doubt, the inner war you fought to keep going. But you'll know it wasn't magic. It was mission. It was mindset. It was purpose. So write it, speak it, live it, and protect it, because your purpose is your power. And once you know your why, you'll never waste another day not chasing it. You just need purpose. Find your why, then become the person who never stops moving toward it. There comes a moment when you have to stop playing both sides, when you've got to decide, are you all in or not? Do or die isn't a catchy phrase, it's a way of life. It's the fire that says there is no other way, no backup plan, no safety net.
My moderate to severe ulcerative colitis symptoms kept me out of the picture. Skyrizi helps deliver symptom relief as early as 4 weeks and is proven to help deliver visible colon lining repair and remission.
Don't use if allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or UC.
Ask Ask your doctor about Skyrizi.
With America's Floor Source, it's easier than ever to refresh your living space. With our mobile floor source, we'll bring our showroom right to your living room. Our design experts will curate fresh, stylish looks just for you and your home. From luxury vinyl to carpeting, area rugs, and window treatments, we have exactly what you need. Visit americasfloorsource.com today for more details and to schedule an appointment with one of our experts. America's Floor Source, elevating interiors.
No plan B, because the second you give yourself a way out, you've already lost. Winners don't entertain other options. They don't daydream about what they'll do if it doesn't work. They make sure it does. Period. You see, having a plan B sounds smart, but it's really just your fear in disguise. It's your doubt whispering, let's not risk too much. It's the voice in your head that's scared to burn the bridge because deep down, it doesn't believe you can cross the ocean. But if you really want to make it, if you really want to change your life, then you've got to kill the escape route. You've got to cut the ropes, burn the boats, and say to yourself, I'm either going to win, or I'm going down swinging. Every person who ever did something legendary had that switch inside them, that do-or-die mentality. No fallback, no excuses, just obsession, just mission, just one outcome. And you've got to ask yourself, what's stopping you from going all in? Fear? Comfort, the opinions of people who don't even know what they want from their own lives. Let them watch, let them doubt, but you commit. This is not about being reckless, it's about being certain. It's about betting on yourself so hard, the universe has no choice but to move. When your back's against the wall and there's no way out, that's when your power shows up. That's when your instincts take over. That's when you fight like your life depends on it. Because it does. The reason most people stay average is simple. They never fully commit. They kind of want it. They kind of try. They kind of show up. And that kind of mindset builds a kind of life. Kind of successful. Kind of fulfilled. Kind of happy. But you weren't born for kind of. You were built for more. You were born to go all in. You think champions had plan B? You think the people who made it had time to second guess? No. They made a decision, not a wish. They said, this is it. This is my life now. And they got to work. That's what you've got to do. Decide. Commit. Then act like your future depends on it. Because it does. Look around you. The people who are rising, the ones making noise, changing their lives, they didn't get there by tiptoeing around risk. They didn't play it safe. They didn't dip their toes in to test the waters. They jumped in, fully, completely, with zero backup plan. And that's why they survived. That's why they succeeded. Because when you remove every option but winning, something in you wakes up. Your instincts sharpen. Your focus tightens. Your mind stops drifting and starts hunting. That's what happens when there's no plan B. Your soul commits. But you keep checking the exit. You keep thinking, well, if this doesn't work, I can always fall back on. Fall back? You weren't meant to fall back. You were meant to rise. You were meant to fall forward, into progress, into growth, into your purpose. Stop preparing to fail. Start preparing to fight. There's a different kind of energy that comes when you know there's no turning back. When you tell yourself, I'm doing this, or I'm dying trying. That energy will carry you through the late nights, through the self-doubt, through the pain that makes other people quit. That mindset, do or die, it's a weapon. It makes you dangerous. Because now, you're not hoping, you're hunting. You don't get second chances at your first dream. You don't get to wish your way into greatness. You've got to fight like you've got nothing left to lose. You've got to wake up every day and remind yourself why you started. Remind yourself what it cost you to get here. The sacrifices, the tears, the lonely nights, the battles no one saw. You didn't come this far to turn around. You didn't survive hell just to play it safe. And here's the truth. If you do have a plan B, if you're already thinking about what you'll do when this fails, then you've already failed. Because the mind doesn't give 100% to something it doesn't fully believe in. If part of you is planning your escape, then part of you is already left. That's not commitment, that's hesitation dressed as logic. And hesitation will kill your dream faster than failure ever could. So choose today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when the timing is better or when you feel more ready. Choose now. Burn Plan B. Rip it up, set it on fire, and watch how everything changes when your only direction is forward. This is your chance. This is your moment. It won't wait for you. And life won't slow down to let you catch up. Either you grab it with both hands and never let go, or you sit back and watch someone else live the life you were too scared to fight for. No more excuses. No more waiting. No more if this doesn't work. This will work. Because you're going to make it work. Because you have no choice. Because you've decided. And because from now on, it's do or die. No plan B.
Kane's got it all to do here. And taps Gemini. He'll have to time this just right. And here comes the game plan. That's an absolute banger from the skipper. What a finish!
For essential acids, bases, buffers, salts, and high-purity solvents for analytical chemistry, scientists trust Fluka, dependability in a bottle for every analytical need.
Only war. Only grit. Only victory. This is the part where most people give up. Right here, in the middle. Not at the beginning when they're excited. Not at the end when the finish line is in sight. But right here, when things get real, when progress feels slow, when it hurts more than they thought it would, that's when people fold. Why? Because they still had a plan B. They still had an escape route. They still had that quiet little voice saying, "It's okay if you stop, you tried. But you're different. You're still here. You're still standing. And that means something. That means there's still fight in you. That means you're not done yet. And you shouldn't be. Not when you've come this far. Not when you've bled for it. Not when you've already buried Plan B in the dirt and promised yourself you'd never dig it back up. Listen to me. The moment you said no Plan B, you stepped into a new reality. One where you are responsible for everything. Your wins, your losses, your attitude, your results. You don't get to point fingers anymore. You don't get to blame the economy, your past, your parents, your friends, your followers. This is on you now. And that's not pressure. That's power. Because when you own everything, you can change anything. This world is not going to hand you what you want. It's not going to roll out a red carpet for your dreams. You've got to take it. Rip it from the hands of fear. Grab it from the jaws of comfort. You've got to be willing to risk being misunderstood, doubted, laughed at. All of it. You've got to walk alone sometimes. But that's the price of greatness. That's the tax on transformation. And only the bold are willing to pay it. The clock is ticking. You don't get forever. Every moment you waste, someone else is outworking you, outlearning you, outlasting you. They're hungrier than you. But you have something they don't. You've got no way out. That kind of desperation is deadly. That kind of focus is rare. Most people are too comfortable to be dangerous. But you're cornered. And people backed into a corner either break, or they become unstoppable. So what's it going to be? Will you go back to the average life? The one where everything is fine, and your soul dies quietly while the world keeps spinning? Or will you stand up right now and say, I choose war. I choose effort. I choose all in. Make the choice. Fight the fight. Walk through the fire. And when they ask how you did it, Tell them the truth. I had no other option. I had no plan B. Because that's where power lives. In the decision to go all the way or not at all. In the moment you bet everything on yourself and win. So if you're still breathing, it's not over. Do or die. There is no plan B. Only you. Only now. Only forward. Every step forward from this moment is a declaration that you refuse to settle, that you're done waiting for permission, and that you're not interested in average, because average is a disease. It spreads through hesitation, through compromise, through the quiet whispers of doubt that say, just be realistic. But let me ask you, what's realistic about settling for a life that doesn't set your soul on fire? What's realistic about waking up every day, knowing you're capable of more, and doing nothing about it? There is nothing safe about comfort. Comfort is a slow death. It numbs you, softens you, makes you forget that you were born to fight. And somewhere along the way, you bought into the lie that it's okay to back off when it gets hard. That if things don't work out, you'll just try something else. No, that mindset kills dreams. You don't try, you do, or you don't. There is no middle ground when your future is on the line. This isn't just motivation. This is survival. This is how you separate the ones who talk from the ones who walk. Talking is cheap. Everyone talks. Everyone posts, quotes. Everyone says they want it. But the question is, who's going to bleed for it? Who's going to wake up at 4 a.m. when it sucks? Who's going to keep pushing after 100 rejections, when nobody claps, when nobody believes? That's not inspiration. That's identity. That's who you become when there's no plan B. You don't need more time. You don't need more information. You don't need the stars to align. What you need is to get serious. Decide that this is it. Decide that you're either going to make this happen or go out swinging. But you're not backing off. You're not slowing down. And you're not quitting. Not today. Not tomorrow. Not ever. Let others tiptoe. Let others wait for signs. Let others make excuses. But you burn every exit. You lock every door behind you because you know this. The only way out is through the pain, through the doubt, through the mess, through every no and every not yet, until you break through the wall that most people never even see because they stop too soon. You're gonna keep swinging until it cracks, and when it does, you'll keep swinging anyway, because that's who you are now. This is your reminder. You don't need permission. You don't need applause. You don't need backup. You need hunger. You need focus. You need fire. And above all, you need to decide that this is the path, that this is the only path, that you will win or you will die trying. No more plan B. This is plan A. This is the plan. And you're going to make it real.
After leaving the military, James wanted to be a project manager, so he got a Google Project Management certificate. Now, he can write a project charter, manage resources, and communicate with stakeholders. All skills that helped him get hired as an IT program manager.
I was so happy when I got the offer from my current job. The Google Career Certificate program has changed my life.
Want to change your career? Now you can.
You want to know what separates the ones who make it from the ones who almost did? It's not talent, it's not luck, it's not some secret strategy. It's this: unshakable, blind commitment. The kind of commitment that laughs at setbacks, that keeps moving when it's tired, that doesn't negotiate with fear. It's not pretty, it's not polished, it's not perfect, but it's real, and real wins. The ones who rise don't need motivation every day. They're not driven by hype. They're driven by the fact that there is no other way. They've already buried the plan B. There is no maybe, no hopefully, no let's see how it goes. It's this or nothing. That's the energy you need to bring every single day, because the world doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you insist on, what you fight for, what you bleed for, what you refuse to live without. And when you want something that badly, when it becomes your only path, you start moving different. You start showing up earlier, staying later, thinking sharper, talking less, doing more. You stop explaining yourself. You stop defending your dream. Because deep down you know it's already yours. Not because it's guaranteed, but because you refuse to accept anything else. And that's the mindset you need right now. Not someday, now. Because every minute you hesitate, every second you sit in doubt, is one more moment you're not becoming what you were born to be. The pain you're feeling, that's not a sign to stop. That's the gateway, that's the test. And if you keep going through it, step by brutal step, you'll come out the other side a different animal. Not everyone gets this. Most people will never understand it. They'll say you're obsessed, that you're too intense, too extreme. And they're right. You are obsessed. Because obsession builds empires. Obsession changes lives. Obsession doesn't check the weather. It shows up in the storm. You think legends were balanced. You think they had backup plans. No, they went all in. They got laser focused. They shut out the noise. They made sacrifices most people would never make. And they kept going when it got dark, when it got lonely, when it got painful. So here's your reminder. You can be afraid. You can be unsure. You can be tired. But you can't stop. You can't quit. You can't look back. You said no plan B. You said do or die. So now, prove it. This is your story. No edits, no reruns, no rehearsals. Just one shot, one chance, one you. You're not here to live the same year 80 times and call it a life. You're not here to follow the crowd, to play it safe, to aim small so you don't miss. You were born with something inside you that refuses to settle, something that knows mediocrity is a cage dressed up as comfort. And deep down you feel it, that burning, that pressure, that itch that won't go away. That's your potential, screaming at you to move. You think you're tired? You're not tired. You're underused. You've been holding back, playing it cool, waiting for the right moment. Let me tell you something. There is no perfect time. There is only now. And now is brutal. Now is uncomfortable. Now is full of doubt. But now is where winners are made. Because now is all you've got. You said you're all in. You said there's no plan B. So now the question is, can you take the heat that comes with that kind of decision? Can you face the days when nothing makes sense? When it feels like you're failing? When everyone else seems to be winning and you're still stuck in the mud? Good. That's where you're supposed to be. That's the process. That's the pressure that builds champions. No one ever became unbreakable by being untested. No one ever reached greatness by coasting. You want to be remembered? You want to be respected? Then suffer now, suffer with purpose, and rise later. People think success is some glamorous lifestyle. They don't see the grind. They don't see the hours, the sacrifices, the mental battles. They just see the highlight reel. But you see the truth. You feel it every day. And still you show up. That makes you dangerous. That makes you rare. Because no plan B doesn't mean recklessness. It means clarity. It means you've made a decision so firm not even fear can shake it. It means you've burned the map, ignored the doubters, and locked eyes with your destiny. And now you're walking toward it, bruised maybe, but unstoppable. So when your legs shake, keep moving. When your vision blurs, blink and push forward. When your mind says quit, yell back louder, watch me. You are not weak, you are not broken, you are becoming. This is what transformation feels like.
Not everyone's life runs in straight lines. At Sophia, we get that. Our flexible, affordable, self-paced college-level courses help thousands of people just like you complete their degrees for only $99 a month.
It's not comfortable, it's not cute, it's a war. But if you stay in the fire, if you keep fighting when your mind begs for relief, you'll come out the other side with something no one can take from you. Proof. Proof that you didn't need a plan B. Proof that you were enough all along. So when it gets hard, and it will, remember this. You chose this. You asked for this. And you're built for this. The world doesn't owe you a damn thing. Not success, not support, not applause. But that's the good news. Because when you stop expecting it, you start creating it. When you stop waiting for a handout, you start building with your own hands. And when you finally accept that it's you versus you, you stop hesitating. You stop asking for permission. You start moving like someone who knows if I don't do this, nobody will. You see, plan B is where dreams go to die quietly. It's a soft voice that says, maybe I'll come back to it later. It's a safety net that slowly turns into a prison. But when you cut that safety net, when you take away the fallback and force yourself to fly, something in you ignites. That's when your instincts kick in. That's when you find out what you're made of. Not when it's easy, not when everything is going your way, but when it's all falling apart and you still refuse to fold. You have to get real with yourself. Are you chasing this because it's convenient or because it's necessary? Because if it's just a nice idea, you'll quit the second it gets hard. But if it's the thing that keeps you up at night, if it's the thing that's burning a hole in your chest, then you owe it to yourself to go all in. Not halfway, not let's see what happens. All in. That's the only way this works. There will be days when your own mind turns against you. Days when it tells you, you're not good enough. You'll never make it. Who do you think you are? But here's the truth. Those voices are not reality. They are echoes of fear, and fear only shows up when something important is on the line. So when it speaks, smile. That means you're on the edge of something great. Don't let fear write your story. Don't let doubt hold the pen. This is your story, and it's not a story about playing it safe. It's not a story about almost making it. It's not a story about being remembered as the one who had potential. It's a story about fire, about fight, about someone who made a decision and never looked back. So write that story, live that story, bleed for it if you have to, but do not walk away from it. Not now, not ever, because this is your moment, right here, right now. No backup, no parachute, no plan B, just you and the mountain in front of you. So climb, or die trying, but don't you dare stop. Get back up. Take it personal when life knocks you down. Don't just lie there. Don't wait for a sign. Don't look around for sympathy. Stand up, get back up, and take it personal. Because every time you stay down, you're telling the world that it was right about you, that it had your number, that the doubts were true. But you're better than that. You were born for more than comfort and quiet quitting. You were born to fight. You were born to climb. You think champions never fell. They did, but they took it personal. Every loss, every failure, every betrayal, they took it like a punch to the soul. And then they got back up with fire in their eyes. That's the difference. That's the line between the ones who stay stuck and the ones who rise. How personal you take the hit. You lost your job? Take it personal. You got passed over? Take it personal. Your body's out of shape, your bank account's empty, your dreams feel dead. Take all of it personal. Not as an excuse to cry, but as a reason to move. Let it hit you in the gut, let it shake you awake, and then get back up swinging. You've been sitting too long, watching others live the life you want, liking their wins, scrolling past your own regrets. It ends now. Stop playing nice with your pain, stop making peace. Get mad, not at the world, at the part of you that let this happen. No more it's not fair. No more I'll try tomorrow. No more playing soft. You think tomorrow's going to hand you a better shot than today? It won't. The world owes you nothing, but you owe it to yourself to answer back. You owe it to yourself to rise up off that floor. You've cried, you've waited, you've hoped. Now act. You are not weak. You are not fragile, you're just out of practice. You forgot what it feels like to fight for your life. You forgot how dangerous you are when you believe in yourself. So remind yourself, every morning, every damn morning, say it. Get up, fight back, take it personal. You don't need permission, you don't need the perfect plan. You need grit, you need fire, and you need to start. Stand in front of that mirror and say it straight. No one's coming to save me. I'm saving myself. Look at the tired eyes, the worn face, the frustration. That's your origin story. That's your day one. From here on, everything changes. They underestimated you, good. They think you're done, perfect. You're going to show them what happens when the overlooked get obsessed, when the forgotten decide to be remembered. Because you're not done. You're not even close.
They're pressing. They're pressing. Oh my, Gemini!
Let me get a punch. Let me just feel a punch. Let me get a punch. When a hook don't sleep, yeah, yeah, though. When a hook don't sleep, yeah, yeah, though. When a hook don't sleep, don't punch me. Don't keep getting me before I make you bleed. Pray for your rest in peace. It's the only piece that you need. Even a punch. This is the purge. Everybody, please, your purge. Your I'ma kick these people with my key pound. People like me pick a pack of bricks for a week for their per minute. Rapper like me can pull and panic. Local back for you need for the proof. Like when they prank for jamming loose. Array me root from poor keep ham. I pike for poor keep proof. Like the right pike for price. Security qual poor. Eminem said, Millie Rabbit.
You don't need hype. You need hunger. The kind of hunger that doesn't go away with a snack or a nap. The kind that burns in your chest when you see someone living your dream and know you've been sleeping on your own. The kind that makes you lace up your shoes when it's cold, when it's late, when nobody's watching. Because you know this version of you isn't the final version. Every excuse you've made, burn it. Excuses are lies, dressed up to sound polite. I'm tired. I'm busy. It's not the right time. None of it matters. The truth is this. If it meant enough to you, you'd be moving already. So make it mean something. Make your story mean something. Let the pain you've been through turn into pressure. Pressure to rise. Pressure to transform. Pressure to become someone no one saw coming. You're not here to be average. You're not here to coast. You've already tried that, and look where it got you. Stuck. Bitter. Restless. Enough of that. This time, it's war. And the battlefield is inside you. Discipline versus doubt. Fight versus fear. Growth versus comfort. Which one wins? The one you feed. You can lie to others, but you can't lie to yourself. You know what you've been avoiding. You know where you've been slacking. So face it. No filters. No fake smiles. Just brutal truth. That's where power lives. In honesty. Own your mess. Own your flaws. Own your role in staying down too long. Because once you own it, you can change it. You've got something to prove. Not to them, to you. That you still have it, that you never lost it. That behind the silence and the struggle, the beast still lives. That the fire is still burning. Take every you can't and turn it into watch me. Take every you won't and turn it into I did. Take every scar, every loss, every sleepless night, and wear them like armor. Because they didn't break you, they built you. You want power? Take responsibility. You want growth? Take the pain. You want change? Take action. No one's going to drag you to your greatness. You have to walk there, through the mud, through the doubt, through every day you don't feel like it. That's what makes it real. That's what makes it yours. So get back up. Again, and again, and again. Get back up when it's heavy. Get back up when it's lonely. Get back up when you're tired, when you're scared, when you've failed more times than you can count. Keep getting back up until your past can't even recognize your present. Let them sleep. Let them doubt. Let them talk. While they do, you work. You suffer. You build. Because someday they'll look at you and say, I always knew you had it. But you'll know the truth. You had to dig it out of yourself. Every single day. When no one was clapping. When no one believed. That's what taking it personal looks like. You take it personal when you decide you're done living like a background character in your own story. You take it personal when you realize nobody's handing you a happy ending. You have to bleed for it. Earn it. Build it brick by brick with your bare hands. And every time it gets knocked down, build it again. Stronger, smarter, harder to break. You think strength is born in victory. No. Strength is born in the days you show up broken. When your mind says quit and your body says stop, but your soul says keep going. That's real strength. That's the grit they don't teach in schools or on some trendy Instagram page. That's the kind of power you forge in fire. And guess what? Fire hurts. Growth hurts. Getting back up hurts. But you know what hurts more? Regret. Knowing you had the chance and you played it safe. Knowing you had the spark and you let it die. That's the kind of pain that eats you from the inside out. The quiet kind. The what if kind. You don't want that. So trade it. Trade regret for resilience. Trade comfort for character. Trade fear for fire. Every day is a chance, a choice. You either step forward or you stay still. And standing still is just a slow death with a smile. So move. Even if it's messy, even if you stumble, even if no one claps, no one cares, and no one sees. You see, you know, that's enough. That's where the journey starts. Not with applause, but with intention. You got knocked down. Good. Now get up like someone who refuses to stay down. Get up with more purpose than before. Get up with more clarity, more hunger. Get up like the person you wish you had watching over you. Become your own role model. Be the example someone else will one day follow.
A degree, but still no...
Families earning
They say higher education is outdated, irrelevant. We say, don't settle for the status quo.
At Grand Canyon University, we shatter it.
And we're redefining what higher education looks like. We lead with a pioneering spirit in classrooms that are incubators for bold ideas. Our academically rigorous...
You want to win? Then suffer for it. You want respect? Earn it in silence. Show up when you're not in the mood. Train when you're tired. Build when you're broke. Study when you're confused. Stay sharp when the world's going soft. That's how warriors are made. That's how legends are born. Not in moments of comfort, but in the chaos. And when life throws that next punch, because it will, you smile. Not because you like pain, but because now you know what to do with it. You use it. You take it personal. You get back up, and you go again. Get back up like your life depends on it. Because it does. The life you want. The life you deserve. The life you've been pretending you're chasing. It's sitting on the other side of you, refusing to stay down. Nobody's gonna drag you to the top. They don't even want you there. That's the truth. Most people want you predictable, quiet, stuck where they left you. But not you. Not anymore. You take it personal when people doubt you. Not because their opinion matters, but because you let it fuel you. Let every side comment, every snicker, every time they overlooked you, let that burn inside until you're unstoppable. Until they can't deny your name. Until they start whispering, how the hell did he do that? You show them, quietly, relentlessly, with every early morning, every sacrifice, every damn rep they didn't see. You take it personal when you know what you're capable of, but you've been playing small. You've been shrinking to fit in, dimming your light so no one feels threatened. Enough. You weren't made to fit in. You were made to break the mold, to make people uncomfortable with your ambition. That's how you lead. That's how you build something real. You want motivation? Fine. Here it is. Your time is running out. Every day you wait is a day you don't get back. Every excuse, every delay, every maybe later, it stacks up. And one day, you're going to wake up in a life that you built. One full of everything you didn't want, simply because you didn't have the guts to get back up and fight. So take this personally, like someone stole your future, and you're here to reclaim it. Like someone tried to write your story for you, and you're ripping the pen back. Every failure you've tasted, every wall you've hit, every dead end you've stood at, they weren't signs to quit. They were tests. And if you're still breathing, you're not done. You think you're tired now? Good. That means you're in the fight. That means you're not numb anymore. Pain is feedback. Fatigue is data. You're alive. You're capable. You've still got fight left. Don't waste it. Because here's the truth. No one is going to care how hard it was for you to get back up. They're just going to see that you did. That's what makes people believe. Not the story of how perfect your path was, but the proof that you refused to stay broken. So build it, day by day, brick by brick, in silence, in the shadows. Let the noise stay out there, where it belongs. You're building something bigger than opinions. You're building a legacy. And legacies aren't made on couches or in comfort zones. They're made by people who take it personal. Take it personal when you look in the mirror and see the gap between who you are and who you know you could be. That gap is your enemy. That gap is the space between potential and reality. And that space should piss you off. That space should wake you up in the morning. That space should drive you to do more, push harder, get uncomfortable. You get one shot at this life. One. And most people sleepwalk through it. Most people wait for the right time, the right mood, the perfect setup. You don't. You can't. Because you've already wasted enough time hoping for something to change on its own. It won't. Nothing moves unless you move. So move. Get back up and move with purpose. Walk like someone who has something to prove. Speak like someone who means every word. Show up like your name is on the line. Because it is. Your name. Your legacy. You're shot at something greater. You're not just fighting for a better job or a nicer car. You're fighting for your identity. You're fighting for the version of you that doesn't settle, that doesn't fold, that doesn't let life have the final say. You take it personal, because you know what's at stake. Everything. You want to know who makes it? The ones who get back up one more time than they fall. Not the strongest, not the smartest, the most relentless.
Big savings are yours during the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event at the all-new Lou Fuse Kia, formerly Great Lakes Kia. You pay what we pay on every new Kia. Pay 5% below base MSRP. Even the all-new redesigned 2027 Kia Telluride. K4s or Seltos, your choice, $159 a month. Plus, we'll beat any...
The ones who refuse to accept failure as the end. The ones who look at the dirt, the blood, the sweat, and say, this is where I start over. This is where I rise. You've been here before. Maybe not in this exact situation, but you've been low, you've been lost, and you made it out. You're still here. That means something. That means there's still fire in you, even if it's just a spark. Protect that spark, feed it, grow it into something undeniable. People will doubt you, people will leave, people will laugh. Let them. That's not your focus. Your focus is getting back up, building brick by brick, and refusing to let anyone, including yourself, outwork you. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be present. You need to be disciplined. You need to show up even when your heart's not in it, even when your mind is playing games, even when the results aren't there yet. Because that's what makes the difference. The ones who win, they keep moving through the silence, through the darkness, through the stretch of time when nothing is working and everything feels pointless. They still move. That's who you are, or who you can be. You take it personal. Every loss, every moment you were overlooked, every time you quit early or played small, let that fuel you. Let that ignite you. Let that shape you into someone who no longer backs down, who no longer asks for a second chance, but takes it. Get back up like your future depends on it, because it does. Every second you waste feeling sorry for yourself is a second your competition is using to lap you. You think the world's gonna wait for you to catch your breath? It won't. Life moves, the clock ticks, and the longer you stay down, the easier it gets to stay there. So no, you don't rest yet. You rise. You take it personal when life hits harder than you expected. Not because you're weak, but because you know what you survived. You know what it took just to get to this point. So don't waste that pain. Don't let those scars mean nothing. Let every bruise be a reason to push. Let every fall be the fuel to climb. This isn't about motivation anymore. That comes and goes. This is about something deeper. Standard. What's your standard? Is it excellence, or is it excuses? Because the standard you set is the life you get. And if your standard has been low, it's time to raise it. Starting now, starting today, starting with getting back up and making the decision that this time you don't break. People will look at you crazy when you start moving different. Let them. Let them laugh. Let them doubt. Just make sure they never get the chance to say, I told you so. You'll be too far ahead, too locked in, too focused. This is your rebuild, and rebuilds are never pretty, but they're always worth it. Get back up when it's hard. Get back up when it's quiet. Get back up when no one texts, when no one checks in, when no one says, I believe in you. That's when it matters most, when you're all you've got. Because if you can show up for yourself in the dark, you'll be unstoppable in the light. Take it personal when people think you peaked already, like you already had your shot, like you missed your window. Let them think that. And then let your comeback silence every single voice. Not with noise, with results. That's how you respond. Not with arguments, not with rage, with relentless execution. Show them what happens when pressure doesn't break you. It builds you. You're not chasing dreams anymore. You're claiming territory. This is war. This is personal. Every second you're not working is a second you're losing ground. So take it personal when you waste time. Take it personal when you skip the workout. Take it personal when you break a promise to yourself, because that's where self-respect is born. In the follow-through. In doing the thing you said you'd do, even when it sucks. Get back up like someone who's done pretending, done talking, done wishing, done waiting for things to get easier. This is your evolution. This is your comeback season. And the only way to win it is to own it. This isn't for everyone. This is for the person who's been smiling in public and breaking down in private. For the one who shows up, gives their best, and still feels like it's not enough. For the one who's been strong for too long. If that's you, if you've been carrying more than people see, if you're exhausted, discouraged, and silently questioning if it's worth it, this message is for you. You don't have to pretend right now.
Businesses face cycles, and the good ones last. They figure out how to beat those cycles, how to stay relevant.
Your hero product today could be your cash.
You don't have to be okay. You don't need to have it all figured out. You're allowed to feel tired. You're allowed to feel overwhelmed. You're allowed to sit in the pain for a moment and just breathe. But this is not the end of your story. You're still here, and that means something. Sometimes, making it through the day is a victory. Waking up, getting out of bed, brushing your teeth, that's strength. There's no weakness in struggling. Struggling means you're still fighting, still trying, still moving forward. Even if it doesn't feel like it, every small step is progress. You've been through things people will never understand. You fought silent battles. You've stayed quiet in rooms where your heart was screaming. You've pushed through days that drained everything from you, and you're still here. That alone makes you strong. Don't let the noise of the world tell you otherwise. They say keep your head up, but sometimes your head feels too heavy to lift. So don't force it. Sit in that stillness. Let yourself feel. Let yourself break if you need to. You won't stay broken. You'll rise. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but the strength to rise is already inside you. You're not weak because you're tired. You're not a failure because you want to quit. You're human. In this life, it's hard. It'll hit you in ways that don't make sense. It'll test you when you're already on your knees. But there's something deeper inside you, something that refuses to give up. That voice in your head telling you to quit, don't listen to it. That's not you. That's fear talking. That's pain echoing. You've made it this far, not by accident, but by purpose. You've survived every bad day, every loss, every rejection, every heartbreak. You're still breathing. You're still in this fight. There is no shame in asking for help. There is no weakness in leaning on others. You were never meant to do this alone. There are people who love you, people who care, people who would drop everything to remind you that your life matters. And it does. It always has. Even when you can't see it. You may not see the light right now, but that doesn't mean it's not coming. Sometimes the night feels endless, but even the longest night has a morning, and your morning is coming. The pain won't last forever. The storm will pass. Hold on just a little longer. You've already made it through more than you thought you could. Stop trying to be perfect. Stop trying to have it all together. It's okay to fall apart sometimes. The goal isn't to be invincible. It's to be real, honest, human. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to cry. You're allowed to take a breath and regroup. That doesn't make you weak. That makes you wise. One day you'll look back and realize this moment didn't break you. It built you. It forced you to dig deeper, to find strength you didn't know you had. You're becoming someone who's been through the fire and lived to tell the story. You're becoming a walking testimony that pain doesn't have to define you. You matter. Your story matters. What you're feeling right now, it's valid. But it's not final. You're not finished. You've still got chapters to write. You've still got dreams to chase. You've still got love to give, places to go, people to inspire. Your future hasn't even started yet. I don't care how slow you're moving. Forward is forward. Progress is progress. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. Keep choosing life, even when it hurts. Keep believing, even if it's just a whisper. That whisper is enough. That whisper is your soul saying, "Don't give up on me." If today feels impossible, just focus on the next 10 minutes. That's all. Get through 10 minutes, then another 10, and another. Life doesn't demand you do it all right now. It only asks that you keep showing up, minute by minute, hour by hour. That's how you win. The truth is, some of the strongest people look like the quiet ones, the ones who keep showing up with tired eyes, the ones who smile through their storms, the ones who carry the weight of the world in silence. That might be you. And I want you to know, I see you. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. You got a life to live, and not just survive, but really live. Laugh until your stomach hurts. Love with your whole heart. Cry when it's real. Be messy. Be honest. Be you. Because the world doesn't need a perfect version of you. It needs the real one. Your story will inspire someone else to keep going. Your scars will be someone else's reason not to give up. But first, you have to live. You have to choose to stay. Even when everything in you is screaming to run, even when it feels like the darkness is winning, stay. Stay and see what happens when you don't give up. Maybe the dream isn't dead. Maybe it's just resting. Maybe your story isn't over. It's just taken a turn. Trust the process. You don't have to understand it right now. You just have to keep walking. Even if you crawl, even if you stumble, you keep going. I'm not saying it'll be easy. I'm saying it'll be worth it. You're going to rise. You're going to rebuild. You're going to find joy again, peace again, love again. You're going to see that all the pain, all the setbacks, all the nights you wanted to quit, they were shaping you, refining you, building the foundation for a stronger, wiser, deeper version of you. You're not alone. You've never been. There's a whole army of us out here. Quiet warriors who've battled depression, anxiety, trauma, heartbreak. We've been through hell, and we came back with fire in our eyes. You're one of us. You're not weak. You're chosen. This world needs your voice, your light, your presence. So please, don't give up. Don't fade away. Stay. Just stay. Even if you don't know why. Even if it doesn't make sense. Even if it hurts. Stay, because your best days are still ahead. You haven't seen anything yet. You've made it this far. What's one more day? What's one more step? You can do this. I promise. You are stronger than the storm. You are bigger than the battle. You are more than the pain. You are more than what happened to you. You are more than what you feel right now. This is not the end. This is a turning point, a chapter, a comma, not a period. Don't judge your whole life based on this hard moment. Don't write yourself off just because you're hurting. This pain is temporary. Your story is eternal. You don't need to become someone else to survive this season. You just need to come home to yourself, the part of you that still hopes, the part of you that still dreams when no one's watching, the part of you that remembers what it was like to believe in magic, in goodness, in miracles. That version of you is still alive, buried maybe, bruised definitely, but not gone. Sometimes we lose ourselves while trying to keep everything else from falling apart. We become experts at hiding the pain, keeping the smile, pretending we're okay. But healing doesn't happen in pretending. Healing happens in truth. In saying, I'm not okay, but I still want to be. In whispering, help me, even when the world says, be strong. And strength, real strength, isn't about pushing through with no emotion. Real strength is carrying your heart into the fight. It's getting knocked down and still choosing to stand. It's admitting the fear, the doubt, the hurt, and still walking forward anyway. You have to stop waiting for someone to come save you. The rescue mission is your own. That doesn't mean you're alone. It means you're in charge of pulling the first thread, lifting the first rock, taking the first breath, and saying, I'm still here. That single moment of courage can shift everything. There's power in deciding to stay, not just alive, but present, open, awake. There's power in saying, I will not disappear. I will not fade. I will not give up on me. You don't need 100 reasons to keep going. Just one. And maybe that reason is simply this. You're not finished yet. You don't have to be who you were before the pain. That version of you was real and valid, but so is this version, the one rising from the ashes. You're being refined, shaped, hardened in some places, softened in others. That's what happens when you walk through fire, and you're walking through it. But fire doesn't just burn. Fire also purifies. And maybe that's what this season is, a furnace, not to destroy you, but to mold you, to strip away what no longer serves you, and leave behind only what's real, what's true, what's unbreakable. People will tell you to stay positive, but when the weight of life is crushing you, positivity feels fake. I'm not asking you to stay positive. I'm asking you to stay grounded, stay honest, stay aware of what's happening inside you, because awareness is the doorway to change. And please, stop measuring your worth by what you produce. You are not your output. You're not your job, your income, your body, your status. You are not what the world says you are. You are what you decide to become.
This is a story that makes everyone cry. Laugh cry and ugly cry, and definitely total.
You are worthy now. Even if you do nothing today, even if all you do is survive, that's enough. This message is for the nights you cry into your pillow, for the mornings where the thought of leaving bed feels impossible, for the quiet moments when you wonder if you're the only one struggling. You're not. You're never alone in this. Someone somewhere has been where you are, and they made it out. So will you. Maybe you're at rock bottom. Maybe you feel like you've lost everything. That's where some of the greatest lives begin. Not at the peak, at the pit, when there's nothing left but faith. Nothing left but the decision to climb, to try again. That's where character is forged. You're not broken, you're breaking open. This isn't your end, it's your beginning. Start again, not because you failed, but because you lived. You tried, you learned, you grew, and now it's time to rise. It's time to reclaim your strength, to find your voice again, to speak your truth, even if it shakes, especially if it shakes. There is still more for you. More beauty, more peace, more adventure, more joy, more people to love and be loved by, more sunsets that take your breath away, more dreams that are still possible, more moments that remind you why you held on. Let this be the day you choose yourself, not perfectly, just honestly. Let this be the moment you say, I matter enough to keep going. I matter enough to try. The storm you're in won't last forever, but the strength you're building will. That's yours forever. This message is for the one who's barely holding on. You are not weak. You are not a burden. You are not invisible. You are not done. You are a fighter, a survivor, a soul in progress. And the world is better because you're in it. There's something important I need you to hear. Just because you can't see the breakthrough coming doesn't mean it isn't. Just because it feels like nothing is changing doesn't mean nothing is happening. Sometimes the most powerful shifts happen in silence, beneath the surface, when no one, including you, can see them. But they're happening. Change is slow, healing is messy, growth is painful, but it's all progress. And if all you've got in you today is one deep breath, then take that breath. That breath counts. That breath is resistance. That breath is defiance against giving up. And that breath means you're still fighting. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're tired. You're overwhelmed. You've been running on empty for too long. And maybe you haven't heard this in a while, but you've done an incredible job just making it through. Give yourself credit. Give yourself grace. You weren't built to be perfect. You were built to be real. The truth is, we're all pretending more than we admit. Everyone's carrying something they don't talk about. Everyone has moments when they wonder if they're enough. You're not alone in this feeling. But you do have a choice in how you respond to it. You can decide that this moment won't define you. You can decide that your story continues from here, with more fight, more love, more depth, more meaning. The world will try to put a period where you need to place a comma. It'll try to tell you this is the end, when it's only a turning point. So don't run from the pain. Don't hide from it. Feel it, face it, own it, and then decide that you'll rise anyway. Not because the pain disappears, but because you refuse to stay stuck in it. You're allowed to feel everything and still move forward. This season of struggle isn't permanent. Nothing is. Your sadness isn't permanent. Your confusion isn't permanent. This emptiness isn't permanent. It all passes. It all evolves. You're not stuck. You're in transition. You're being shaped for what's next. And sometimes it takes everything falling apart to realize what truly matters. Sometimes it takes losing what you thought you needed to find what your soul was really craving. And sometimes it takes walking alone for a while to meet the version of yourself that's been waiting on the other side of pain. Maybe the breakdown is really the beginning of the rebuild. Maybe your mess is becoming your message. Maybe the things that have crushed you are the very things that will carve your character and show you what you're made of. Don't dismiss the pain. It's a teacher. You are allowed to want more, to dream bigger, to reach higher.
This is Buick now. Buick, exceptional by design. Get 0.9% APR on Envista. Plus, current eligible non-GM owners get an Envista Preferred for under $26,000.
What excites me about being a product manager now is that I can move and...
Even when you're struggling, especially when you're struggling, you're allowed to believe there's more waiting for you than just surviving. You're allowed to want joy, peace, and freedom, but you have to fight for it. And some days, the fight will look like staying in bed a little longer and not beating yourself up for it. Some days, it'll be getting out of bed when you don't want to, drinking water, stretching, writing one line in your notebook, saying one kind thing to yourself, sending one message, making one small move toward your future. That's what the fight looks like. Not flashy, not loud, but relentless. Your future self is begging you not to give up. They're stronger, wiser, freer, and they're waiting. But they only exist if you keep going. So when it feels too hard, think of them. Think of the peace you haven't tasted yet, the love you haven't felt yet, the life you haven't lived yet. That's who you're fighting for. You are not behind, you are not late. You are exactly where you need to be, to learn what you need to learn. You're not stuck, you're being prepared. The delay is not denial, it's development. You are not losing, you're becoming. And even if you don't see the results yet, even if nothing's changed on the outside, I promise you, something inside you is shifting. Every time you refuse to quit, every time you choose to stay one more day, every time you pick yourself up after falling, you are becoming someone new. So hold on, please, hold on like your life depends on it, because it does. And not just the breath in, breath out kind of life, but the meaningful, rich, purpose-driven kind of life. The kind where you feel peace when you wake up. The kind where you look in the mirror and smile because you're proud of the person staring back. That life is still possible. You haven't missed your moment. You haven't lost your chance. You're not too far gone. You're just beginning. This message is for the one who's barely holding on. And maybe that's all you needed to hear. That someone sees you. That someone believes in your comeback. That someone knows what it's like to be where you are and refuses to let you stay there. Because this world needs you. Your pain will become someone's permission to heal. Your scars will become someone's survival map. But first you have to stay. I'm not asking you to have faith in the future. Just have faith in the next step, the next breath, the next decision to show up. That's all. From there, momentum builds, light breaks in, and hope, quiet, slow, steady hope, starts to rise. You're not just holding on, you're holding on to your comeback, and that comeback is coming. You're tired, I know. You're burnt out, I see it. You've been trying to hold it together, while it feels like your whole world is falling apart behind the scenes. You're waking up each day with a weight on your chest, going through the motions, hoping something will change, hoping someone will see the struggle you've been hiding behind that fake smile. But no one's coming to save you. And that's not a bad thing, because the truth is, you've always had the power to save yourself. This moment right here, this breaking point, it's not the end of your story. It's the start of the comeback. You think it's over? Nah, champ. It's just getting started. You still have breath in your lungs. That means you've still got a shot. One more move, one more fight, one more step. You're still in the game. I don't care how many times you've failed. I don't care who told you you're not good enough. I don't care if they left, if they laughed, if they counted you out. You weren't built for their approval. You were built for impact. And impact doesn't come easy. It's forged in pressure, born from pain, shaped in silence, and made visible through scars. Let them see the scars. Let them know you survived what should have broken you. That's strength. That's power. That's the proof that you're still here. You've been down before, haven't you? So what makes this time any different? You got up then. You can get up now. But it's on you, not on your friends, not on your family, not on your environment. It's on you.
Rice Krispies treats.
Chewy. That's not a burden, it's a gift. You get to take control now. You get to write the next chapter. See, most people quit in silence. They don't announce it. They just fade, disappear, settle. Not you, not this time. You're going to rise in silence. You're going to build in the shadows. And then, out of nowhere, boom, you show up a different animal. You show up so sharp they don't even recognize you. That's the move. Stay quiet. Stay locked in. Don't explain. Prove it. You've got to stop making excuses for why it hasn't happened yet. You're not stuck. You're just scared. And that's okay. Everyone's scared. But fear isn't your enemy. Comfort is. Comfort will convince you that average is okay, that good enough is good enough. But deep down you know, it's not. You weren't made to be average. You weren't made to coast. You were made to dominate. That dream you had, it's still alive. It's just waiting for you to believe in it again. People always ask, how do I stay motivated? You don't. You stay disciplined. Motivation is weak. Discipline is a weapon. You don't feel like showing up? Good. Do it anyway. You don't feel strong today? Good. Push through it anyway. Because champions are made on the days they don't feel like it. That's where it counts. You think the greats were always motivated? You think they bounced out of bed every morning ready to kill it? No. But they did it anyway. They kept going. They stayed focused when no one was watching. They practiced when no one believed in them. They trained like they already had the title. That's the mindset. Delusion with discipline. Let people call you crazy. Let them say you're obsessed. That's fine. Obsession is just commitment in its purest form. Be obsessed with getting better. Be obsessed with building something great. Be obsessed with becoming the person you were born to be. And don't apologize for it. You're not too old. You're not too late. You haven't missed your shot. The clock didn't run out. You're still here. That means your mission's still active. And every time you doubt yourself, I want you to remember this. I believe in you. Even when you don't. Even when it feels like no one does. I do. I believe in the version of you that you're trying to become. I believe in the one that's tired of settling. I believe in the fighter behind those tired eyes. This isn't about talent. It's not about luck. It's about fight. It's about who's willing to keep swinging when the odds say give up. Most people never even try. Most people talk themselves out of greatness. Not you. You're different. You've got that dog in you. You just forgot for a minute. I'm here to remind you. You've still got it. So keep going. If it hurts, keep going. If they laugh, keep going. If you fail again, keep going. If you're alone, keep going. Don't stop now. Not here. Not when you've come this far. Every setback is just a setup for the bounce back. You're not broken. You're just being rebuilt. I don't care how ugly it gets. Keep going. I don't care how slow it feels. Keep going. Momentum doesn't care about speed. It cares about consistency. Keep stacking days. Keep showing up. Keep swinging. Every time you want to quit, I want you to ask yourself one question. What if I don't? What if you keep pushing and you win? What if you go all in and it works? What if this was the test right before the breakthrough? Because it usually is. Pain comes before the win. Doubt comes before the clarity. Pressure comes before the prize. This world doesn't need more quitters. It needs more champions, more fighters, more people who refuse to stay down. That's you. That's your identity now. The one who doesn't give up. The one who doesn't fold. The one who builds the life they said they would, no matter how long it takes. Your current situation is not your final destination. You're in the middle. You're in the fire. That's okay. Let it mold you. Let it shape you. Let it burn off the weakness and light up your hunger. You're going to look back one day and realize this moment changed everything. You'll remember the nights you almost quit, the mornings you almost didn't get out of bed, the rejections, the failures, the tears. You'll remember all of it. And then you look around at what you built and say, damn, I really did it. That's the goal. That's what we're chasing. And if you feel like you're losing, just know this, you're still in the fight. And that's more than most people can say. You're still here. That means you've still got time to turn it around. You just have to believe it. You just have to decide, I'm not done yet. You want to know the truth? You're not broken. You're not weak. You're not lazy. You've just been beaten down for so long that you forgot how strong you really are. They told you to be realistic. They told you to lower your expectations. They told you to play it safe.
After working as a paralegal, Lauren wanted to make a change. So he got a Google cybersecurity certificate. Now, he can manage digital risks, program in Linux, and respond to incidents. All skills that helped him get hired as a cybersecurity engineer.
They lied. Realism is just fear in a suit. Safe is where dreams go to die. You weren't born to blend in. You were born to stand the hell out. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. Not your parents, not your teachers, not your followers, not your haters. You only have to prove it to the one person who stares back at you in the mirror. That's the one who needs to see you fight. That's the one who needs to know you didn't fold when it got hard. That's the one who needs to be proud of you. Make that person proud. Make that person believe again. Let me tell you what they won't say. This journey is hard. Not kinda hard. Not sometimes hard. It's brutally hard. It's cold. It's lonely. You'll cry some nights. You'll doubt everything some mornings. And in those moments you'll think, why am I doing this? But right after that question comes the answer. Because I have no other option. Because quitting is not in my DNA. Because I'm not going back to the old me. You think success is about waking up early and hitting the gym and posting pictures of green smoothies. No, success is about showing up broken, showing up when you're heartbroken, broke, alone and tired, and still doing what needs to be done. That's real strength. That's real grit. It's not pretty. It's not perfect. It's real. I believe in you because I've seen people come from worse and win. I've seen people lose everything, money, health, relationships, sanity, and still rebuild from the ground up. That's why I know it's possible. That's why I know you can make it. But you've got to give it everything. You've got to get out of your head and into your fight. The clock is ticking. Not in a panicky way, but in a wake-up way. In a you don't have time to waste another year playing small way. You don't get forever. You get now. That's all anyone gets. Stop saying someday. Stop saying maybe. Stop waiting for the perfect conditions. Start now. When it's hard, go harder. When it gets tough, get tougher. Don't fold, don't bend, don't break. Bend reality around your will. Let them doubt you. Let them laugh. Let them gossip. Good. They're not meant to understand. They weren't built like you. They didn't come from what you came from. They don't know what you've survived. You're a storm in human form, and they're not ready for that. So what if you're not where you want to be yet? That doesn't mean you're not on the way. Progress is invisible at first. It hides behind consistency. But if you keep going, if you keep pressing, if you keep showing up when most people would sit down, you'll break through. It's only a matter of time. This is the season of silence, the season where the real ones are made. This is the time to put your head down, shut out the noise, and do the work every single day. You won't always see the change. You won't always feel it, but it's happening inside you, around you, through you. The universe listens to those who move like they've already won. Let me ask you something. What if you already had it? What if everything you wanted was already waiting on the other side of your decision to never quit? Wouldn't you sprint through the storm? Wouldn't you fight harder? That's the truth. It's already there. It's just hiding behind your ability to keep going when everything tells you to stop. So keep going. Keep grinding when no one sees it. Keep sacrificing when no one thanks you. Keep believing when no one claps for you. Your time is coming. I don't care how slow it's been. I don't care how many L's you've taken. That win is still waiting for you. But it won't walk into your life on its own. You've got to go get it. You don't have to be fearless. Just be brave enough to take the next step. Fear doesn't stop the great ones. Doubt doesn't silence the winners. They just move forward anyway. They feel it all, but they keep pushing. That's the difference. That's what separates the few from the many. That's the DNA of a champion. That's what I see in you. And I'm going to keep reminding you, as long as you need it. Because sometimes that's all we need. A voice in the dark saying, don't stop. You're almost there. And you are, closer than you think. That finish line, that breakthrough, it's not far. But it won't wait forever. You've got to earn it. So rise up, champ. Wipe the sweat. Wipe the tears. Square your shoulders. Tighten your fists. Let them know who they're dealing with. You're not finished. You're not out. You're just getting warmed up. You're the type that turns pressure into power, pain into fuel, doubt into discipline. You're not the kind of person who gives up at halftime. You're not the kind of person who turns back when things get hard. You're here for war.
Out here, pets are family. And Tractor Supply's your one stop for low prices on their treats, toys, and food. Shop your way, in-store, with convenient pickup or subscription. Save on brands cats and dogs love. All in one place. Tractor Supply.
They say tennis is great for remembering you can customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual.
Do they, Doug?
My bad!
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
And war doesn't care how you feel today. It cares if you fight. So fight. Fight through the doubt. Fight through the noise. Fight through the fatigue, the stress, the anxiety, the loneliness. Fight through every excuse your mind is screaming at you, because beyond that wall of pain, there's freedom. Every great person you admire, they fought too, alone, broke, insecure, afraid. They didn't rise because they were fearless. They rose because they kept showing up even while scared out of their minds. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's moving anyway. You've got that. You've shown it before. So don't you dare forget who you are now. Think back. Think of that moment you said, "This is it. I'm changing my life." Remember how fired up you were? That version of you? They're still here. You just need to wake them back up. You don't need more time. You need more fire. You already know what needs to be done. You already know the sacrifices required. You already know what needs to go. Distractions, laziness, toxic people, old excuses. The only thing left is action. Not perfect action, not pretty action, just movement. Forward. Every single day. You won't always feel like it. That's fine. Your feelings are passengers, but you're the one driving. Get in the seat and take the wheel. Don't hand your life to mood swings and emotions. Hand it to your vision. Hand it to your why. Let that be your GPS when the road gets dark. Listen to me carefully. You are closer than you think. Most people quit just before the breakthrough. They feel that pressure, they hit that wall, and they back off. They call it a sign. Maybe it wasn't meant to be. No, that's the test. That wall wasn't built to stop you. It was built to see if you wanted it bad enough to climb. So climb. Do you know what kind of person you become when you keep going through that kind of resistance? Unstoppable. When you build a track record of not quitting, not backing off, not taking the easy way out, you become dangerous. Not to others, to weakness, to mediocrity, to everything trying to keep you small. And let's talk about that voice, the one in your head whispering that you're not enough, that you're too late, too broken, too average. I've got news for you. That voice is a liar. It doesn't want to see you win. It wants you quiet, complacent, safe. But you weren't born to be safe. You were born to set something on fire. That fire, it's in you. It's always been there. Maybe it got buried under years of pain. Maybe life dimmed it. Maybe people tried to smother it. But it's not gone. I can feel it from here. That's the thing about real power. It never dies. It just waits for a spark. So let's light it.
Every morning you wake up is another shot. Another chance to rewrite the narrative. To choose who you want to be. Don't tell me what you're going to do. Show me. Show the world. Show yourself. Not by being loud. Not by posting about it. By doing the work. In silence, in the dark. Until your results speak so loud nobody can ignore you anymore. You're not stuck. You're just scared of starting over. But guess what? Starting over isn't weakness. It's wisdom. It's strength. It's knowing that what you were doing wasn't working and having the guts to change it. Most people stay stuck because they're too proud to pivot. Don't be most people. You want to know how I know you've got what it takes? Because you're still here, reading this. That means you haven't given up. That means some part of you still believes. That means there's still a heartbeat in that dream. And if there's a heartbeat, there's still time. So let's breathe life back into it. This is the season you turn it around. This is the season you level up. This is the season you stop apologizing for wanting more. You are not wrong for wanting to be great. You are not selfish for wanting to win. You are not delusional for believing there's more out there for you. You're just awake. And once you're awake, you can't go back to sleep. So rise. Rise even if it hurts. Rise even if no one claps. Rise even if it's slower than you want it to be. Just keep rising. You're still in. That's what separates you. Most people would have scrolled on, closed the tab, said I'll finish this later. But not you. You're here, hungry, focused, ready. You feel it, don't you? That fire coming back, that edge sharpening, that voice inside starting to roar again. Good. That's you waking up. And now that you're awake, it's time to move different. Not tomorrow. Now. Get serious about your vision. No more half in, half out.
For essential acids, bases, buffers, salts, and high-purity solvents for analytical chemistry, scientists...
No more showing up when it's convenient. No more letting your emotions set the schedule. You show up regardless. That's the code.
That's the formula. That's what every successful person does. They don't wait to feel right. They move until it feels right. Every minute you spend sitting in doubt is a minute you could have been building. Doubt is natural, but it's also useless unless you turn it into discipline. Feel it, then get to work. And don't confuse being busy with being productive. Don't confuse movement with progress. If you're not aiming at something specific, you're just burning energy. Get locked in on a target and aim your entire life at it. Your goals, they aren't going to just fall in your lap. You have to become the kind of person that attracts those goals by how you live, by how relentless you are. That's the truth no one tells you. The real ones, they earn it. The dream doesn't chase you back. You chase it until it has no choice but to turn around and surrender. So who do you need to become? What does the person who already has your dream life look like? How do they carry themselves? How do they think? What do they do on a bad day? That's the standard now. You stop acting like the old you. The version of you that's been hesitating, second guessing, quitting when it gets hard. That version's done. It got you this far, and now it's time for an upgrade. You ever feel like the universe is testing you? It is. Every delay, every obstacle, every setback. It's asking, you still want it? And how you respond determines what happens next. Life doesn't care what you say you want. It watches what you do when it gets hard. This is your test. And let me tell you something. You're passing it right now just by staying in the fight. Progress doesn't always feel like progress. Sometimes it feels like dragging yourself through hell with nothing to show for it. But every rep counts. Every early morning, every late night, every time you say no to comfort and yes to commitment. You're stacking bricks. You're building the future. Even when it feels like no one sees it. Especially when it feels like no one sees it. Because that's where it really happens. In the dark. That's where you earn the light. And let me tell you this loud and clear. You are not alone. You're not the only one who feels broken some days. You're not the only one who doubts themselves. You're not the only one who cries in private and then wipes the tears and gets back to it. You are not crazy for struggling. You are not weak for having moments of fear. But you are strong for refusing to let those moments define you. You're strong every time you show up when you could have stayed down. You're strong every time you get back up when it'd be easier to stay on the floor. You're strong every time you make the hard decision when no one would have blamed you for giving up. That's why I believe in you. Not because you're perfect, because you're still swinging. And now it's time to swing harder. Forget the past. It's gone. Let go of the shame. Let go of the guilt. Let go of the old identity. You've punished yourself enough. You've doubted yourself enough. Now it's time to build. Not just goals, a legacy. Not just success, a story. A story you'll be proud to tell one day. A story with scars and setbacks and scenes where the main character almost gave up, but didn't. Because they had one more round in them, one more push, one more inch, and that inch changed everything. You're closer than you think, so lock in. Shut out the noise. Kill the excuses. Break the patterns. Make a new routine. One that serves the person you're becoming, because that's what this is about. Becoming, not pretending, not hoping, becoming. Don't give up, champ. If you've ever wondered about the real story behind this channel, how I went from struggling and lost to motivating thousands of people every single day, now's your chance to hear it. I've shared my full journey,
all the ups and downs, in a special audio and PDF just for you. If you want to get inspired and learn how I turned my life around, check out the link in the pinned comment. Your breakthrough might be just one story away.
They're pressing. They're pressing. Oh my, Gemini!
The heat is on. Don't let them see you sweat. Try the new Hottest Fire Chicken Sandwich at Speedway.
Only the people who are willing to go through the worst of it get to experience the best of it. By definition, if you're doing what everybody else is doing, living the way everybody else is living, thinking the way everybody else is thinking, you're going to get what everybody else is getting, which is average, which is mediocre, which is nothing special. If you want something different, you have to be different, and being different is lonely, man. Being different means people don't understand you. Being different means your own family looks at you sideways. Being different means you're sitting in a room by yourself at 2 in the morning working on something that nobody believes in except you. But that's what it takes. That's what it costs. You don't get to be extraordinary and comfortable at the same time. Pick one. My mother, God bless her, she used to say to me, she'd say, "Boy, I didn't raise you to be sitting around watching somebody else live their life on that TV. Turn that thing off. Go outside. Go do something. Make something happen." And I used to hate hearing that, you know. I used to roll my eyes. But she was planting something in me that I didn't even realize at the time. She was planting this thing, this motor, you know what I mean? This engine that doesn't let you sit still. This thing that makes you feel guilty when you're not working, when you're not moving, when you're not building something. And man, I'm grateful for that now. I'm so grateful for that, because that motor is the only reason I'm standing here today. Not talent, not luck, not connections. The motor, the refusal to sit down and be comfortable with where I was. Focus and fail fast, learn quickly, try something new, and then fail again, and learn again, and try again. You actually learn to succeed by failing. Most people don't want to hear that. Most people want the shortcut. They want the hack. They want the secret. There is no secret. The secret is you're gonna fall flat on your face and it's gonna hurt and you're gonna look stupid and people are gonna talk about you and you're gonna want to quit. And then you get up and you do it again and you fall again and you get up again. That's it. That's the whole thing. If you want to increase your rate of success, you must double your rate of failure. But people are scared of failure, man. They're terrified of it. They'd rather do nothing and stay safe than try something and risk looking like a fool. And that's why they never win. And because the winners, the real winners, they failed more times than the average person even tried. If you're too scared to show up, if you sit back at home wondering what if and everything else, nobody in hell is going to call you with an opportunity because you weren't present. The winners always show up. They show up when they're tired. They show up when they're sick. They show up when they're broke. They show up when nobody else is there. They show up on the days when everything inside them is saying don't go. And they go anyway. Because showing up is half the battle, man. You know how many people don't even show up? You know how many people are sitting at home right now, talking about what they're going to do, but they never actually do it? Millions, millions of people. So just by showing up, just by being there, you're already ahead of most of them. That's not even a joke. That's real. We all fall down in life, every single one of us. The question is who gets back up, and not just gets back up once. Who gets back up every single time? Because it's easy to get back up after the first fall. The second fall, okay, you can manage that. But the fifth fall, the 10th, the 20th, when life just keeps hitting you and hitting you and hitting you and you're thinking, man, when does this stop? That's when you find out who you really are. That's when the real ones separate from the pretenders. The real ones get back up with blood on their face and say, is that all you got? The pretenders stay down and make excuses about why the ground is more comfortable anyway. One thing I've discovered is that the black sheep of the family, The one nobody believed in, the one they talked about at Thanksgiving, the one they said would never amount to nothing. If that person keeps getting back up, keeps pushing, keeps refusing to quit, that black sheep always turns out to be the goat. Always. And stop taking constructive criticism from people who haven't constructed a damn thing. You know what I mean? Don't take advice from somebody whose life you wouldn't trade for. Don't take financial advice from your broke uncle. Don't take relationship advice from your friend who can't keep a relationship for more than 3 months. Don't take career advice from somebody who's been at the same dead-end job for 15 years and hates every minute of it. Consider the source, man. Consider the source. In all your endeavors, school, work, the gym, your career, your relationship, your name is attached to it. Your name. It's got to mean more than anything else. Lock in. Believe in what you believe in. Nobody else matter. You have to hold yourself accountable. You have to hold yourself to your own truth, to your own beliefs, to your own standard. And always believe in the power of something bigger than yourself. Because nobody in the history of this life has been able to do it completely by themselves. Nobody. Amen. Nobody. Hustle, hustle, hustle. Sleep was sin in my household growing up. If it was daylight outside, you couldn't be inside. That was the rule. Mama would say, why are you going to sit here and watch somebody else doing something when you can go out in the world and do it yourself? Turn that damn thing off. Get outside. You had to be outside. Go hustle. Go figure it out. Be home when it's dark. That was it. That was the whole parenting strategy. And it worked. It worked because it taught you that the world is not going to come to you. You gotta go to the world. You gotta go out there and grab it. Just do things. Just do it anyway. Do it tired. Do it sad. Do it lonely. Do it scared. Do it broke. Do it confused. Do it without a plan. Do it without a role model. Do it without support. Because if you're waiting for somebody to come along and give you that helping hand, sometimes you're going to be waiting your whole life. And you'll be sitting there at 60 years old, still waiting, still hoping, still wishing, while everybody else who didn't wait is out there living. Come on, man. Get up. I want to wake you up at 3 in the morning. I want to say, come on, we're going running. I want to see what you do when you're tired. Let me see how you push yourself. Come on, get up. Get up again tomorrow. Get up again the next day. Get up, get up, get up. Keep going. How long can you maintain? And how long can you keep this up before you break? Before you quit? Before you go back to being the person you were? That's the question. That's the real question. Turn your feelings off when it comes down to you wanting to be better. And what I mean by that is when that alarm goes off at 5 in the morning, your feelings got to go away. Your feelings say stay in bed. Your feelings say it's cold. Your feelings say you're tired. Your feelings say you deserve a break. But if you want greatness, feelings can't be in the driver's seat. And let me be clear about this, for those people who might twist what I'm saying. I'm not talking about your family. I'm not talking about your relationships. I'm not talking about love and compassion and all that. I'm talking about the grind. The grind. When it comes to the work, your feelings got to take a back seat. Be a dangerous man. Now, being dangerous, that's not being a threat. Those are two different things, all right? And it's not about going out and lifting weights and getting tattoos and wearing leather jackets and walking around with your chest puffed out saying, I'm dangerous. That's rarely a dangerous man. Often the most dangerous man in the room is the quietest man in the room, the one nobody sees coming, the one who's been working in silence while everybody else was talking. Motivation is crap. I'm just gonna say it. Motivation is complete crap. People are listening to this right now. They're going to feel motivated. They're going to want to go run. They're going to want to go to the gym. And if it's cold outside, if it's raining, a lot of them are going to shut that door and go right back inside. That's motivation. It comes and goes based on how you feel. If your life is good, you're motivated. If your wife's happy, if the kids are good, If work is smooth, you're motivated. But I like the person whose life has completely fallen apart, who ain't got nothing going right in their life, and still wakes up and says, still got to get after it today, man. That's not motivation. That's something else. That's something deeper. That's discipline. That's character. That's the thing that money can't buy and comfort can't kill. There comes a day, man. There comes a day where being average, being mediocre, is just sickening to you. It's just sickening. It makes you want to throw up. Because you've seen people you grew up with, childhood buddies, whatever, and they didn't have what you had. They didn't have your talent. They didn't have your brains. They didn't have your gifts. And yet now they're becoming something. And you haven't. And it burns, man. It burns so bad. You can't deal with it one more day. And you get off your ass and you finally go after the thing that's been inside of you this whole time. It's always been there, trying to come out. But you never wanted to unwrap it because there was too much pain and commitment involved.
Franklin University makes it possible.
It's easy for the screen to steal our time. Less can free you.
You were scared you were going to fail. You were scared you'd start and never finish. You didn't want to tell anyone about it in case it didn't work out. You knew it was there, but you never wanted to go for it until something hits, something snaps, and that's when everything changes. Sometimes life can really hijack your mind. When that happens, man, everything's messed up. Your goals, your ambitions, your plans, everything is out the window. In life, we all go through things. Your girlfriend breaks up with you. Guess what? Get over it. She don't want you no more. Maybe you failed a test you studied your ass off for. Guess what? You failed. Get over it. Move past it. At work, you've been busting your ass for that promotion and you didn't get it. Someone else got it. Maybe they kiss better ass than you do. Guess what? Get over it. Life will hijack your mind if you let it. Don't let all these things make you a lesser person. You must own your mind. Don't let life own it for you. And before you win, everyone asks you why you're working so hard. And after you win, everyone reminds you how lucky you got. Funny how that works, right? Why not you? Why not? We always ask why. Why should I work this hard? Why take that many classes? Why go to school that many years? Why read the books? Why put yourself through the push-ups and the discipline? Why? And the best answer I've ever heard to why is another question. Why not? Why not see how many books you can read? How many skills you can develop? Why not see how valuable you could become to the marketplace? To your friends? To your family? Why not see how far you can go? How much you can earn? How much you can share? Why not see what you can make of yourself? Why not? When you're suffering, you give up on the very things you wanted the most. I wanted it so bad, man. I wanted it more than anything. But when the suffering got too much, my dream died. Just like that. Not because I didn't want it, because the pain was louder than the dream. And that's what happens to most people. The pain gets louder than the dream, and they quit. But talent? I don't really believe in talent. Some people have it. That's fine. That's good for them. But as long as you have determination and willpower, you have a will to win. That's all you need. That's really all you need. Hard times create hard men. Hard men create soft times. Soft times create soft men. Soft men create hard times. And that cycle, man, that cycle has been going on since the beginning of time. So which part of the cycle are you in? And more importantly, which part of the cycle do you want to be in? To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. You have to take it that far. You have to go to the edge. Nobody wants to go that far because it's too scary. But you know something? I got news for you. That's where winning is. It's always been there. Nothing's changed. Except people train not as hard. People want not as bad. People sacrifice not as much. But the formula hasn't changed. It never will. The hardest thing in life is figuring out who you are and what you want to do for the rest of your life. And once you figure that out, you wake up every day and you work toward it. And it becomes impossible for you to fail if you know who you are, what you want, and you wake up every day and work toward it. Impossible. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. Don't wait for it. Don't count on it. Don't plan for it. Act today. Move today. Start today. Because tomorrow is a lie we tell ourselves to avoid the discomfort of right now. Once you change one thing, your mindset, you can attack everything. Everything. Trees don't hang around with the grass even though they all started from the same place. Think about that for a second. Same dirt, same rain, same sun, but one reached higher. One decided to grow taller. One refused to stay low. Be the tree, man, not the grass. Spend so much time on improving yourself that you have no time to criticize others. Never say never, because limits, like fears, are often just an illusion. The greatest athletes in the world, the best performers, the best leaders, they do their best work when they're uncomfortable, when they're tired, when they're sore, when everything in them says stop and they keep going. That's not talent, that's will. Just get started, man. Just start. The longest time in the world is the hesitation between thought and action. That gap, that space between knowing what you need to do and actually doing it, that's where dreams go to die. I had to stop thinking normal. I had to say to myself, I can no longer be a common man, walking around doing common things. Everything you do, you may have support, you may not, but it's on you. You have to make the decision. Do you want to be exceptional, or do you want to be mediocre? It's always you versus you. If you compete against other people, you know what I mean. You're going to become bitter. Eventually you'll become bitter. But if you compete against yourself, you become better. You know what I mean? And that's why it's so easy to be great nowadays. Because most people aren't willing. Most people want it easy. Most people want the shortcut. Most people want the results without the reps. And that's exactly why if you just put in the reps, if you just do the work, you're already ahead of 90% of people. It's not even that hard to stand out. You just got to be willing to do what they want. You want to avoid all the critics in your life, then do nothing, say nothing, be nothing, and you'll never get their attention. But the moment you start doing something, the moment you start building something, the moment you start becoming something, guess what? You get their attention. And that drives them crazy because they could never be what you are. So the only thing they can do to feel good about themselves is try to bring you down. Don't let them. The hardest thing is to keep going, man. But we have to. We have to keep holding on. And I know for a lot of people out there, that's probably the hardest thing. Just holding on. Just keeping going when there's no light at the end of the tunnel. When you can't see how it's going to work out. When everything inside you says give up. Just hold on one more day. And then one more. And then one more. Learning is the beginning of wealth. Learning is the beginning of change. Some people want to start with motivation, but you don't start with motivation, you start with action. And action creates motivation, not the other way around. The proof of success isn't in the feeling, it's in the doing. Focus and fail fast. Focus and fail fast. Learn quickly. Try something new. If you make yourself more than just a man, if you devote yourself to an idea, to a purpose, and they can't stop you, then you become something else entirely, which is legend. It's all about focus. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you're from. Doesn't matter. You just got to have focus and a purpose. You wake up every single day to get better today than you were yesterday. That's it. Are you a basketball player, a writer, a painter, a programmer? It doesn't matter what you are. You try to reach your full potential by getting better every single day. And that's the quest.
I can safely say that Homebase has cut down the time I take scheduling by half, like 50% easily.
Since the day we opened, we've been using Homebase for scheduling and timesheets. We're saving at least 2 or 3 hours of manager time per week.
Funny. The man has jokes.
He's funny. Okay.
Okay. My Uber's 6 minutes away.
Can I see you again?
Hi.
Hey.
See you again.
See you again. Sarah, you help me with this.
So handsome.
You look great.
4 minutes.
2 minutes.
4 minutes.
There's a quote that hit me, man, and it knocked me for 6. It was so simple. It's from a book, an illustration book, and one of my favorite parts of the whole book is a boy and a horse are in the woods. And the boy says to the horse, "I can't see a way through." And the horse says, "Can you see your next step?" And the boy says, "Yeah." And the horse says, "Then just take that." And that hit me, man. Yeah. Because all of the time, we look at the goal, we look at the future, we look at the end game, we look at how long the journey is, and we feel overwhelmed. Instead of that, just go, right, I'm not going to worry about that, because that will come. With each step you get closer. All you need to focus on right now, all I need to focus on right now, is my next step. Go for it, guys. You got to say, you know what, this comfort zone I'm in is a danger zone. It's a danger zone, because what is it doing? It's stopping you from your true potential. It's comfortable, and I don't want to step out because I don't know what's out there. But don't let anyone say you can't do something. Don't let your mind say you can't. Don't let your body say you can't. You can. You just got to push past it. At the end of my life, my tombstone, one thing it'll have on it: no regrets. And that's a good life, man. That's a good life. You only got one life, man. Why not go for it? Why not? The worst that can happen is you fail, and the best that can happen is you create a life that you never even dreamed was possible. So why wouldn't you try? If you just sacrificed these next 3 months of your life, bro, you could change the entire trajectory of everything. 3 months, that's nothing. That's 90 days. You've wasted 90 days before on nothing. On scrolling, on Netflix, on sleeping in, on doing the bare minimum. What if you took those same 90 days and went all in? What if you took those 90 days and attacked them like your life depended on it? Because it does, man. It does depend on it. Your future depends on what you do in the next 90 days, more than it depends on what happened in the last 10 years. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Let me say that again. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. The hard stuff doesn't kill you. The easy stuff does. Because the easy stuff puts you to sleep. And you don't even realize you're sleeping until you wake up and 10 years have gone by and nothing's changed. You see, the underdog story is the realest story there is. When you come from nothing, you appreciate everything. You hustle different. You love different. You lead different. Because you remember what it was like to have nothing. You remember what it was like to eat struggle for dinner every night. You remember what it was like to watch other people have things that you couldn't afford. And that memory, man, that memory is fuel. That memory is fire. That memory is the thing that gets you up at 4 in the morning when everybody else is sleeping. Because you know in your bones, you are never going back there. Never. You'd rather die trying than go back to that life. No matter how bad it gets, and by bad I mean anything in life, any challenge, anything that you're facing, the only way to overcome it is to start walking. Take that step, just one step. That's all I'm asking. Not 10 steps, not 100. 1, because 1 leads to 2, and 2 leads to 10, and 10 leads to 100. And before you know it, you've walked a mile and you can't even see where you started anymore. If you aren't naturally tired at night and excited in the morning, you probably haven't found something meaningful to work on. That's the truth. You're not stressed from doing too much. You're stressed from doing too little of what you actually care about. Think about that. Think about how much energy you waste on stuff that doesn't matter to you, on a job you hate, on people who drain you, on habits that kill your spirit. What if you took even half of that energy and put it towards something that actually made you feel alive? just half of it, everything would change. Everything. Stay humble. Never forget where you came from. Stay hungry. Keep that fire in your soul. And stay true. Always be real with yourself and the world, because the world don't need no more copies. It needs originals. And trust me, ain't nobody else that can do what you do like you do. There's only one of you. There's only ever been one of you. And there's only ever gonna be one of you. So stop trying to be somebody else. Stop trying to fit into somebody else's mold. Break the mold. Make your own. And you're going to fail. 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 And then you're going to win. A lot of people wait for perfect conditions to start. But they don't realize that starting is the perfect condition. You don't need the perfect plan. You don't need the perfect time. You don't need the perfect team. You just need to start. Start messy. Start ugly. Start confused. Start scared. Just start. Because a bad start is 1,000 times better than no start at all. Tired don't mean nothing. Tired is only in the mind. You tell yourself you're tired. You're going to be tired. I don't get tired. Doesn't matter how hard you work, because I'm willing to work harder. That's the mentality. That's the mindset. Not I work hard, but I'm willing to work harder than whoever is in front of me. Rest at the end, not in the middle. You have one life. Don't settle for mediocrity. Life without challenge, that's not life. That's existence. Don't just exist, man. Go, live. We're not on this stage just because of talent or ability. We're here because of 4 a.m. We're here because of 2-a-days. We're here because we had a dream and let nothing stand in the way. There's no excuse not to be the hardest worker in the room. None. Zero. I don't want to hear about your circumstances. I don't want to hear about where you came from. I don't want to hear about what you don't have. There is no excuse. Period. Everyone is jealous of what you've got, but nobody is jealous of how you got it. Nobody wants the process. They want the prize. They want the car, but they don't want the 16-hour days. They want the body, but they don't want the 5 a.m. workouts. They want the success, but they don't want the 10 years of grinding in silence. And that's fine. Let them be jealous. Let them talk. You keep doing what you're doing because you know the truth. You earned every single bit of it, and nobody can take that from you. Nobody. 2 forms of pain, man. 2 forms. There's the pain that breaks you and the pain that changes you. The pain of discipline, the pain of waking up early, the pain of doing the hard work. That's the pain of change. That's the pain of progress. That's the good pain. The pain that actually destroys you isn't that. It's the other kind. It's later in life, sitting there, knowing you could have been more. And all that's left is you and the mirror and tears and a life of possibility that you wasted. That pain never goes away. That pain is permanent. So, pick your pain. The temporary pain of discipline or the permanent pain of regret. Pick one. Isn't it about time you become the person you always knew you could be? How do you do that? You break the mold. You get out of bed when it's cold, when it's early, when every part of you says stay down. You do something different from what you've been doing. Because doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, that doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. You got to switch it up. Switch up the whole mainframe. If you want different results, you need different actions. Why not try it, man? Shock the system. What I mean by that is, yeah, get up at 4 in the morning one day, just one day, and go for a run. Commit to one day and see how you feel. And as you're jogging back at 5 in the morning and your neighbors are still asleep, or you're jogging back at 6 and your neighbors are just getting up, grabbing their coffee, wondering what the day holds for them, well, your day already provided something for you. You already won the morning. And the person who wins the morning wins the day. There was no passion, no drive, no nothing. But I had this fire that I'm going to be somebody, and it has to be there. Man, because on all those bad days, all those days you don't want to do nothing, you have to be your own motivator. Nobody else is going to do it for you. Nobody else is going to push you out of bed. Nobody else is going to force you to do the work. You have to be the one. You have to be your own coach, your own cheerleader, your own drill sergeant. All of it. It's on you. There comes a time, man, and this is real. There comes a time where the hard work you need to do is learning that you can't work any harder any longer. And you have to change what got you here to get to where you want to go. What got you here won't get you there. And that's a hard pill to swallow, because the thing that got you here, you're proud of it. You worked hard for it. But now you got to evolve. You got to adapt. You got to become a different version of yourself all over again. And that's the cycle, man. Reset, refocus, restart, over and over and over. That's life. That's the game. And the ones who win are the ones who never stop resetting. It's about the grind, the sleepless nights, the sacrifices, the prayers you whisper when nobody's watching. It's about those moments when you could have folded, but you didn't. Finish what you started. I know it's getting tough. I know you're tired. I know it feels impossible. I know it's getting harder. But finish what you started. Don't forget why you even started in the first place. Everybody said you wouldn't finish. Everybody counted you out. Don't you dare prove them right. Nothing great is going to come without adversity and pain tolerance. Nothing. You gotta be able to sit in the pain. You gotta be able to eat the pain for breakfast and ask for seconds. Because pain is the admission fee to the life you want. And most people aren't willing to pay it. Most people feel the first bit of pain and they turn around and go home. But not you. You're different. You don't run from the pain. You run toward it. Because you know that on the other side of that pain is everything you've been fighting for. Hey, look, let me guess. New year, new you, right? You've been saying that every year. But it's always new year, same you. You go every year remaining the same. And the person that you are today has been destroying your life. You're mentally killing yourself every year, and you don't even realize it. It's time you look yourself in the mirror and make some change before it's too late. What's the best advice I've ever received? Do so much work that it would be unreasonable for you not to be successful. You got to do it alone. You got to do it broke. You got to do it scared. You got to do it when you don't know what's gonna happen. You got to do it when you don't feel like it. You got to do it when you're nervous. You got to do it when you don't have the answers, because you'll figure it out as you go. That's the secret, man. That's the whole secret. You don't need permission. You don't need a plan. You don't need all the answers. You just need to start. Hey, bro, can you promise me one thing? Just one thing, bro. Promise me that for the next 6 months, you'll give it your all. No averageness, no laziness, no excuses. Just pure effort. Because truth be told, that's all you're missing. It's just effort. If you just hone in, block out the noise, get off the phone, tell your weaknesses no, and tell your strengths yes, I promise you, by the end of the year, you'll be in a totally different situation. But I can't want it more than you. You gotta make that choice. Just keep stacking days. Just keep stacking days. As long as you keep stacking days, I promise you, you will see the change. But everything you want is on the other side of hard. Do you not understand that the more comfortable you get, the more uncomfortable life gets? The less action you take, the more consequences you have. The more you let those bills pile up, the less work you put in, the more food you eat, the fatter you get. All these things start piling up on you, bro. And bro, I know you weren't built to be average. You were built to have more. You were built to have the body you want, the career you want, the life you want, the dreams you want. You were built for all of it, and yet you're sitting here content with being mediocre. At the end of the day, the keys are in your hands, bro. It's on you to go make it count. You need to understand you can't win all the time. And unless you've lost, you haven't even really tried. Every day I wake up and there's stuff I don't want to do. And I say to myself, okay, man, do you want to be weak today? Do you want to feel like a coward? Do you want to walk around all day knowing you could have but you didn't? That's the conversation. That's the internal conversation that determines everything. There's a payoff for bad eventually. There's a payoff. It can't be bad, but for so long. If you got the strength and the understanding to realize that things will change, you need to get on it. You need to be in it every single day. You're almost out of time. Stop being driven by rewards. Stop being driven by outcomes. Stop being driven by, if I get this, I'll do that. Just work. And if you don't get what you thought you were going to get, show up and still go to work. Because along the process, what's more important, what you acquire or who you become? You cannot erase the work ethic part. There is no getting around it. Ain't no elevator to the top. You gotta take the stairs. And some days those stairs feel like they go on forever. But you keep climbing, one step, one day, one rep, over and over. And you're not going to be perfect. I'm not perfect now. I never will be. You're not perfect, and you never will be. But you're better than you were yesterday, and you're going to be better tomorrow. And that's enough. That's always been enough. You have to attack. You have to keep attacking. Whatever is in front of you has to know that you are not going to stop. You must break the soul of whatever obstacle is standing in your way, through discipline, through self-discipline, through repetition, through tons and tons of repetition of the things you don't want to do. That's the key thing right there. Through repetition of things you don't want to do, you develop this mental armor, like a shield for your mind. And once you got that shield, nothing gets through. Nothing. Imagine that you're in a movie, and the movie begins now, and you're the hero. What would that person do? What would the hero do right now, in this moment with everything falling apart? Would the hero quit? Would the hero make excuses? Would the hero go back to bed? Nah. The hero gets up. The hero fights. The hero keeps going when it doesn't make sense to keep going. That's what makes them the hero. Not that they won, that they refuse to stop. You find no answers in the light, man. None. It's too happy. It's too nice. We don't need to be taught how to live in happiness. That just comes naturally. The real lessons, the ones that actually change you, they come from the dark, from the struggle, from the pain, from the moments where you didn't think you were going to make it. That's where you find out who you really are. Not in the good times, in the worst times. And those worst times, man, those are the times you're gonna look back on one day and say, that's where I was built. That's where it all started. That's where the real me was born. You know what I'm tired of hearing? I'm tired of hearing what you can't do. I'm tired of hearing why it won't work. I'm tired of hearing about your situation and your circumstances and your background and all the reasons the universe dealt you a bad hand. You know what? Maybe it did. Maybe life gave you every reason to stay down. But my question to you is simple. What's your excuse? And why not you? Why can't you be the one to flip this whole thing around? If you have that little voice in the back of your head right now, that little whisper that says, hey, you could be something, you could do something with your life, then follow that voice. Don't ignore it. Don't let the noise drown it out, because that voice is the realest thing about you right now. Life isn't fair. We got to understand that. It was never supposed to be fair. It's a testing ground. It's built to make you harder. It's built to break down the weak parts so the strong parts can come through. And the only thing that gets you through it, the only thing, is your mentality. I was an underdog my whole life. We're all underdogs. Even the baddest person walking this earth should carry that underdog mentality. You should always feel like you haven't arrived yet. You see, that hunger that I'm not there yet feeling, that's what keeps you dangerous. It doesn't matter where you come from, the bottom, the gutter, the place nobody even puts on a map. Wherever you think you're from, nothing should be able to stop you if you really believe that. If you believe it deep enough, it starts becoming true. So why would you not go for it? Why would you not take that chance? At some point in your life, you got to take a chance on yourself. Nobody else is going to take it for you. What if I can pull off a miracle? What if I can become someone that nobody thinks I can be? And just me saying that right now, I got the hair going up on my arms because it makes me think, man, what if I can be that person? The one they laughed at, the one they counted out. The one they said would never amount to nothing. What if that person ends up being the one who makes it? That's the thought that should keep you up at night. Not fear, not doubt. The what if. Here's the deal though. Too many of you waste your time worried about what everybody else is doing. Scrolling through their highlights, watching their wins, comparing their chapter 20 to your chapter 1. Yeah, I get it. It can make you jealous. It can piss you off. It can make you feel like you're behind. But guess what? Life is not fair. And spending your energy on somebody else's race means you're losing yours. You got to stay in your own lane and run your own race. That's it. You against you. Nobody else. One big thing you got to learn is how to fail. I'm serious about this. Because if you got big goals, if you're shooting for something that's outside your reach right now, you're going to have bad days. A lot of them. You're going to get knocked down so many times you'll lose count. I've lost in fighting. I've lost in business. I've lost in love. I've lost people I cared about. Life doesn't let you just win all the time. It's wins and losses. And you roll with the punches and you get back in the gym and you work because you have more to show. Life continues. You cannot live in the past. See, victims look at their past and they call it their sentence. Champions look at that same past and they call it their training. The exact same situation. The only difference between the victim and the champion is what they choose to do with the hand they were dealt. One of them sits down and cries about it. The other one stands up and uses it. Every setback either becomes a wall you hide behind or a step you stand on. You decide which one it is. Nobody else makes that call for you.
Worried about missing the April tax deadline? Don't worry, we can help. This edition of Tax...
When you go to war with yourself, you find a lot of peace. Because you finally know exactly who you are. You stop pretending. You stop performing for people who don't matter. You stop faking strength you don't have, and you start building real strength from the ground up. And that process is ugly. It's messy. It hurts. But the person who comes out the other side of that war is somebody you can actually respect when you look in the mirror. Most people never fight that war. They avoid it their whole life. And they die as strangers to themselves. Don't let that be you. Sometimes bad things happen to good people. Horrible things. Life ain't fair. And it can be heart-wrenching. And if you're having one of those dark days, it's okay. It's okay to feel that darkness. It's okay to sit in it for a minute. But you can't live there. You can't build your house in the dark and call it home. You got to get up. Something in you has to wake up, and usually the only person that can wake it up is you. But if you don't have even a little flame left, just a spark, just barely, man, it's over. I can't light it for you. No speech can light it for you. That fire has to come from inside. You know what's crazy? You could be the one. If you really wanted to, you could be the one. But you keep playing the what-if game the wrong way. What if it don't work out? What if I fail? What if they laugh at me? Man, flip that around. What if it does work out? What if you succeed? What if you become everything you ever dreamed about? Then what? You're going to be happy then, right? But you can't say you want to win and then be scared to lose. That don't make no sense. If you put your head down and lock in on the vision, how could you not get there? The only thing that's going to stop you is your own mentality. And that's between you and you. Being realistic is the most commonly traveled road to mediocrity. Why would you be realistic? There's a certain delusional quality that all successful people have. You got to believe that something different can happen. The person who says I can and the person who says I can't are both going to be right. So what are you saying to yourself? What story are you telling yourself every morning? Because that story is building your life whether you know it or not. If you fake bravery when you're terrified, that is bravery. And motivation works the same way. If you do the thing when you don't feel like doing it, that is motivation. That's it. That's the whole secret. You don't wait to feel it. You just go. And then the feeling catches up or it doesn't. Either way, the work got done. Why not you? Why not you with good self-esteem? Why not you starting to change and setting goals? Why not you making progress? You got the brains. You can make decisions. You can study the plan. You can change your whole life. You can grow so much in the next few years it would blow your own mind. You can build a wall around your family that nothing can get through. You can become healthy. You can become powerful. Why not you? Why not you be the one to make it? To start that business, to do the impossible, to do what people don't even think anybody could do. Why can't it be you? Then I'll tell you what changed my whole life. When I finally discovered it's all risky. The minute you were born, it got risky. If you think trying is risky, wait till they hand you the bill for not trying. If you think investing is risky, wait till you get the tab for not investing. Getting married is risky. Having kids is risky. Going into business is risky. It's all risky. You're not going to get out of this life alive. So what are you protecting? What are you saving yourself for? You're going to lose it all anyway. You might as well go all in on the thing that sets your soul on fire. The first step before anybody else in the world believes it is you have to believe it. There is no plan B. Plan B distracts from plan A. You go all in, or you don't go at all. And starting tomorrow, what are you going to do different? Good question. What are you going to do that'll make an actual change in your life's direction? Because if you don't do something different starting tomorrow, guess what? It's going to be the same. The next 5 years are going to look like the last 5 unless you change something. Change a lot, or change a little, but change something. It's choice time. Stop complaining about the results you didn't get from the work you didn't put in. The only way to be more successful than most people is to be willing to do what most people aren't willing to do. That's it. So, let me ask you, what are you afraid of? What are you really scared of? Because we all got fears. We all got something blocking us, something holding us back. And the reason most people aren't living out their true potential and aren't doing what they really want to do comes down to one thing. Fear. Not money, not talent, not time. Fear. The heaviest things in life aren't weights and chains. They're the decisions you haven't made. The reason you feel stuck right now is because you're sitting on something. A choice, a move, a conversation, and you keep pushing it off. You keep hoping the decision will make itself, but it won't. The pressure just builds, and the longer you wait, the heavier it gets. Until one day that unmade decision weighs more than anything you've ever carried. Sometimes life will hijack your mind. When that happens, everything goes out the window. Your goals, your plans, your ambitions, all of it, gone. Your girlfriend breaks up with you. Get over it. She don't want you no more. You failed a test you studied your ass off for. Get over it. You didn't get the promotion you earned. Someone who kissed more ass got it instead. Get over it. Life will hijack your brain if you let it. Don't let it. You must own your mind. Don't let life own it for you. Do you love this? I mean really love it? With your whole heart? Because if you don't, let's not even bother. Let's not open that door, because they're just going to slam it right in our face. You gotta love the process more than you love the dream. Because the dream is one day, one moment, one celebration. The process is every single day of your life. And if you can't fall in love with the ugly daily grind, you're going to quit the first time it stops being fun. And it will stop being fun, fast. And then the only thing keeping you going is the fact that you love it enough to do it when it hurts. Nobody's coming. I need you to hear that. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to push you. Nobody is coming to turn the TV off for you. Nobody is coming to write the business plan. Nobody is coming to apply for that job. It's up to you. And unless you understand that you got to parent yourself, you got to push yourself, you are not going to make your dreams come true. You're just not. We're not built to do what we don't feel like doing. You have to fight your own nature every single day. That's the game. I grew up with nothing. Less than nothing. I grew up in a house where you learn not to ask for things because there was nothing to give. And I had every reason to stay where I was. Every reason to accept that this is just how it is for people like me. But somewhere along the way I made a decision. Not a loud one. Not some big dramatic moment. Just a quiet thought one night in the dark that said, this is not going to be my whole story. I don't know how, I don't know when, but this part right here is not the ending. And I held on to that thought like it was the last thing keeping me alive. Because some days it was. The first thing I had to learn wasn't how to win. It was how to lose without it destroying me. Because when you're going after something big, something that doesn't make sense on paper, you're going to eat dirt. A lot of it. And if you don't know how to get back up fast, if you sit in that failure too long, it'll swallow you. So I learned to fail quick and move quick. Bad day? Okay. Feel it for a minute. Then, get back on the road. Because the goals don't wait for you to feel better. Time doesn't pause while you're crying about what went wrong. You either get up, or you get left. You know the war you really have to fight? It's the war against yourself. And it's not easy to look in the mirror and decide to change your whole life. It's hard as hell. You have to take responsibility. You have to learn new things. You have to feel uncomfortable. Good, because discomfort is how we grow. That's how we become strong. If you run away from discomfort your whole life, you will always be weak. The muscle only grows from resistance. You have to struggle. You have to push against the thing that's pushing against you. That's where the strength comes from. Not from comfort, not from ease, from the fight. We don't want to suffer. We don't want to feel pain. So we spend our whole lives in the comfortable zone. And there is zero growth there. Zero. I got to a point in my life where being comfortable was the thing that was killing me. Not the struggle, not the grind, the comfort, the ease, the doing nothing. That was the poison. And the cure was the exact thing I didn't want to do. The hard thing, the painful thing, the thing that made me want to quit every single day. But I kept doing it. Not because I loved it. Because I knew that if I could force myself to do the thing I hated the most, everything else in life would feel manageable. You're not training for a specific goal. You're training for the day life punches you in the mouth, and you need to be strong enough to stay standing, because that day is coming. And if you haven't been building yourself up, you'll fold. And then everybody around you suffers because you were too comfortable to prepare. The more weird you are, the more committed you are. The parties ain't going nowhere. The clubs ain't going nowhere. These distractions ain't going nowhere. But your time is. Why are you so antisocial? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you always working? Because I'm trying to get it. Why don't you come out anymore? Because I'm trying to get it. And when it's time for you to make your move, you're going to fly. Because while everybody else was sleeping and partying and fitting in, you were sharpening yourself into something they can't compete with. You're not afraid of failing. You're afraid of what other people will think of you when you fail. But think about this. If you're scared of what they'll think when you fail, imagine what they think of you when you're not even trying. Oh wait, they're not thinking about you at all. Nobody is. They're too busy living their own lives. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you stop letting imaginary judgment run your life. One day, or day one, you decide. You think you got time. Man, you think you got so much time. Like you're going to be here forever. Like you can afford to waste another month, another year, another decade doing nothing. Let me tell you something. You can wake up on top of the world, and by tomorrow the world can be on top of you. You got no control over that. That's how fast it changes. And you're sitting there acting like you got all the time in the world to figure this out. The sun doesn't stop for nobody. The sun is going to come up tomorrow morning, whether you did something today or not. And at night the moon is going to be there, and the days are going to keep going by. So, do you let them go by and look up and realize you wasted a whole year doing what? Or do you pick it up right now? You want to become the best? You want to become champion? And now you want to tell me you're tired? Who cares if you're tired? Nobody cares. At the end of the day, nobody cares what you're going through, how your body feels, what happened at home. We got to do our job. Is it fair? No. Life is tough sometimes and it doesn't care about your feelings. But you hold true to what you believe and you hold true to who you are. And you be that person whether it's easy or not.
After leaving the military, James wanted to be a project manager, so he got a Google Project Management certificate. Now, he can write a project charter, manage resources.
I knew a man who had every talent you could ask for. Smart, quick, could pick up anything faster than anybody in the room. And he spent his whole life telling people what he was going to do. I'm going to start that business. I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to write that book. I'm going to leave this job. He said it for 20 years, and he never did any of it. Not one thing. Because he was addicted to the planning, addicted to the dreaming, addicted to the comfort of talking about it, without ever having to risk anything. And one day I saw him, and his eyes were different. The spark was gone. He wasn't talking about his plans anymore. He was just existing, clocking in, clocking out, going home. And I realized that's what happens when you let excuses run the clock. You don't explode. You don't crash. You just fade. Slowly, quietly. Until one day you look up and the person you could have been is so far gone you can't even picture them anymore. People don't want to see you do better than them. And that's something you got to accept early. When you're stuck and struggling, everybody loves you. They feel good about themselves standing next to you. But the second you start climbing, the second you start making moves, the second your life starts changing, watch how fast they flip. Watch how the people who said they were your friends start acting different. They'll say you changed. They'll say you think you're better than everybody. They'll make jokes that aren't really jokes. And what they're really saying is you're making me uncomfortable because you're doing the thing I'm too scared to do. And that's not your problem. That's theirs. You can't slow down so other people feel okay about standing still. That ain't your job. Your job is to keep moving. And the people who are supposed to be in your life will keep up. The ones who can't, that's the answer you needed about them. Stop telling your plans to people who can't see what you see. That's one of the biggest mistakes people make. You got this fire burning in you, this vision of what your life could be, and you go running to tell somebody about it, and they look at you with that face that says, "Are you serious right now?" And they don't mean to kill it. Maybe they love you. Maybe they're trying to protect you, but they can't see it because it's not their vision. It was given to you, not them. And when you keep sharing something sacred with people who can't understand it, they'll chip away at it until there's nothing left. Keep it close. Keep it quiet. Let your results be the announcement. Let your life be the proof. You don't need anybody's permission to become who you're supposed to be. Let me talk about regret for a second, because people don't take this serious enough. The pain of discipline is temporary. It hurts for a morning. It hurts for a workout. It hurts for a season. But it passes. And what it leaves behind is growth. Now the pain of regret, that's a different animal. That pain sits with you at 3 in the morning when you can't sleep. That pain shows up at family dinners when someone asks you what you've been up to and you got nothing to say. That pain follows you into every room for the rest of your life. And the worst part is, you can't fix it. You can't go back. You can't undo the years you wasted. You can't get the chances back that you let slip because you were too comfortable to reach for them. Discipline hurts for a day. Regret hurts for a lifetime. Pick your pain. I messed up so many times on the way up I lost count. And every single time, every failure, every setback, every time I got knocked flat on my face, there was a moment right after where I had a choice. Lay here or get up. And most of the time, getting up didn't feel heroic. It didn't feel brave. It felt stupid. It felt pointless. It felt like, why am I even bothering? Nobody is watching. Nobody cares. This isn't going to work anyway. But I got up, not because I knew it would work, because I made a promise to myself. And breaking a promise to myself felt worse than any failure. When you stop breaking promises to yourself, everything shifts. When you say, I'm getting up at 6, and you actually get up at 6, that's a win. It's a small one, but it teaches your brain that you mean what you say, and that changes everything. Because a person who keeps their word to themselves is unstoppable. Not because they're talented, because they're reliable to themselves. I don't care if you want to be ordinary. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with ordinary. Some of the best people I know live quiet, ordinary lives, and they're happy. But if you're sitting here right now, and you have something burning in your chest that won't let you rest, something that keeps you up at night whispering you were meant for more, then ordinary ain't for you. And pretending it is will destroy you from the inside out. You can lie to everybody else, but you can't lie to that thing inside you. It knows. It knows you're settling. It knows you're hiding. And it will eat at you every single day, until you either answer the call or you bury it so deep it turns into bitterness. And bitter people, they're the most dangerous thing in the world. Not because they're strong, because they gave up on themselves, and now they want everybody else to give up too. Don't become that person. The real pain in life isn't falling down. The real pain is getting to the end and knowing you had more in you, knowing you could have done something, knowing there was a version of yourself that was everything you dreamed about and you let that version die because you were too scared to try. That pain doesn't heal. That pain doesn't teach you anything. It just sits there, forever. The pain of trying and failing goes away. The pain of never trying never does. If you want to be great, you're going to be misunderstood by everybody. You're going to be so obsessed and so driven that people think something is wrong with you. Why are you still up at midnight? Why are you working on a weekend? Why won't you take a day off? And you'll never be able to explain it to them. Because they don't have what you have. They don't feel what you feel. That thing burning inside you that won't let you rest, that won't let you settle, that won't let you be ordinary. They'll never understand that, and that's fine. You're crazy until you make it. Then everybody wants to know your secret. But there is no secret. The secret is you showed up every single day when nobody else would. The number one way to know if somebody is really hungry is how fast they move, not how loud they talk, how fast they act. You say you want it? What did you do about it today? Not tomorrow, not next week. Today, right now. What did you do in the last 24 hours to move closer to the thing you say you want? Because if the answer is nothing, you don't want it. You like the idea of it. You enjoy dreaming about it, but you don't want it. Wanting something means moving toward it even when you don't feel like it. Wanting something means acting with urgency like your life depends on it. Because it does. Your life is literally depending on what you do next. Everything worthwhile is uphill. Every dream you've ever had, every relationship worth having, every business worth building, it's all uphill. And the only way to go uphill is on purpose. Nobody accidentally climbed a mountain. You've never met a successful person who said, "I have no idea how I got here." They know, because it took effort, it took energy, it took time. It took choosing the hard thing over the easy thing 1,000 times. Downhill is easy. Downhill is default. Downhill is what happens when you let go of the wheel. But uphill is where everything that matters lives. Your life is a book. Every day is a page. Every year is a chapter. And when they close that book at the end, how good was it? What was the story? Did you fight for something? Did you get back up? Did you chase that thing that was burning inside your chest? Or was it the same page every day? He woke up. He went to work. He came home. He made an excuse. He went to sleep. He did it again. For 40 years. Is that the book you want to leave behind? I remember a time in my life where I was completely alone with what I was trying to build. No coach, no mentor, no team, no support system. Just me in a room, doing the work that nobody asked me to do and nobody was going to reward me for. And there were nights where I sat there and thought, what am I doing? Who am I kidding? Maybe they're right. Maybe this is stupid. Maybe I should just go get a normal job and stop pretending I'm going to be somebody. And that voice was loud. It was so loud, some nights it was the only thing I could hear. But there was another voice, quieter, smaller, almost a whisper, and it said, keep going, just one more day. And I listened to the whisper instead of the scream, and I'm still here, And that loud voice that tried to stop me, it got quieter every single time I didn't listen to it. There's a point in every fight where you got nothing left. Your body is done. Your mind is done. There's no strength, no speed, no strategy left. The only thing keeping you upright is a decision you made before the fight started. A decision that said, I'm not going down.
Dealing with information overload, Notebook LM can turn dense documents into dialogue.
And it doesn't matter that you can't feel your legs. It doesn't matter that you can't think straight. It doesn't matter that every logical part of your brain is saying this is over, because the decision was already made. And decisions made in advance don't care about how you feel in the moment. That's why you have to decide before the hard part comes. You have to decide right now, while you're clear-headed, that no matter what happens, you're not stopping. Because when the storm hits, it's too late to make that decision. You either already made it or you didn't. What do most people get wrong about motivation? They think it's permanent. They think once they get it, they'll hold on to it forever. But motivation is not permanent. Nothing is permanent. And a lot of the time, you have to learn to perform without it. You have to learn to work without a deadline, without anybody checking on you. You have to perform when there's no event to prepare for and no one watching. And that's where most people fall apart. That's where they go back to the couch. That's where the excuses flood back in. Because without motivation, you're left with just you. And you is not always enough. Unless you train yourself to be enough. Unless you make a deal with yourself that you do the work no matter what. Tired, sore, broke, lonely, confused, scared. Doesn't matter. You do the work. My new standard became simple. You wake up and you do the hard thing first. Before the world gets a chance to talk you out of it. Before your phone starts buzzing. Before the excuses start lining up at the door. You get up and you do the thing that your old self would have avoided. And you do it every single day until it stops being hard. And then you find a harder thing. And you do that. And you keep raising the bar on yourself, because the second you stop, the second you say, okay, this is good enough, that's the second you start sliding backwards. There is no standing still. You're either climbing or you're falling. And most people don't realize they're falling because the slide is so slow it feels like standing still. Before anybody else believed in me, I had to believe in me. And that's the loneliest thing in the world. Rooting for yourself in an empty room. Clapping for yourself when nobody else can see what you see. Telling yourself you're going to make it when every piece of evidence says you won't. That's where it starts for everybody. In that silence, in that loneliness, in that moment where the only voice saying you can do this is your own. And some days even your own voice doesn't believe it, but you say it anyway, and you keep saying it, and you keep showing up. And one day, somebody else starts to see it. One day the room isn't empty anymore, but it always starts alone. Always. We can stay here and get the hell kicked out of us, or we can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of this hole, 1 inch at a time, one step, one decision. One morning where you get up and you say, not today. Today the excuses stop. Today I stop waiting for somebody to come save me. Today I stop blaming my situation and my past and my parents and the economy and the weather and every other thing I've been hiding behind. Today it's me. It's just me. And I'm going to find out what I'm made of. Because I'd rather fail going after something real than succeed at being nothing. You know what nobody talks about? The in-between. Everybody wants to talk about the beginning, the dream, the spark, and everybody wants to talk about the end, the success, the money, and the results. But nobody talks about the middle, the part where nothing is happening, where you're grinding every day and nothing is moving, and where you show up and put in the work and the scoreboard doesn't change. That middle part is where 90% of people quit, because the middle doesn't feel good. The middle doesn't give you anything to post about. The middle is just you alone in a room doing the same thing over and over with no proof that it's working. And that right there is the test. Can you keep going when there's no reward? Can you keep pushing when nobody sees? Can you keep believing when the evidence says don't bother? Because the people who make it through the middle, the ones who survive that silence, they're the ones who come out the other side as something different, something harder, something real. And the ones who quit in the middle, they go back to their excuses, and the excuses welcome them home with open arms, because excuses never leave. They're always waiting at the door ready to take you back. Something I had to learn the hard way is that you don't get to pick which days matter. You think it's the big days, the interview, the meeting, the event, the deadline, but it's not. It's the days where nothing is happening, the Tuesday mornings where you don't want to get out of bed and nobody would know if you didn't. The Saturday afternoons where everybody else is relaxing and you're working on something that might not pay off for 3 years. Those are the days that build you. Those are the days that create the person who shows up on the big days and performs. Because by the time the big day comes, you've already done the work 1,000 times in the dark. And the person who only works on the days that matter is the person who never builds anything that lasts. They're sprinters in a marathon, fast out the gate, dead by mile 10. And I want to be clear about something. I'm not telling you this because I figured it all out. I'm telling you because I didn't, because I wasted years, because I made every excuse in the book and believed every single one of them, because I know exactly what it feels like to sit in a room and know you're not living up to what's inside you and do nothing about it. I know that feeling because I lived in it. And the only reason I'm standing here now is because one day, one random nothing special day, I decided that the excuses were done. Not because I had some big moment, not because something dramatic happened. I just got tired. Tired of my own lies. Tired of hearing myself say the same thing every January. Tired of looking at the same face in the mirror and knowing it could be different if I just did something about it. And so I did something. Something small. Something stupid. Something nobody would have called impressive. But it was the first honest thing I'd done in years. And that was enough to start. What's your excuse? That was the question at the start, and that's the question right now. Because I need you to say it out loud. Whatever that excuse is, I need you to hear it in your own voice. And then I need you to ask yourself, is this a real wall? Or is this something I built in my own head? Because most of the time, the thing stopping you isn't real. You made it up. You built it. And anything you built, you can tear down. What's your excuse? And why not you? I need you to really sit with that. Not just hear it, feel it. Because somewhere between the life you're living right now and the life you know you were made for, there's a gap. And that gap isn't made of money or time or talent. It's made of every excuse you ever accepted as truth. Every lie you told yourself about why it couldn't be you. Every time you looked at somebody doing the thing you wanted to do and thought they must be different. They're not different. They just decided to stop making excuses before you did. That's it. That's the whole gap. And I know right now, in this moment, something inside you is awake. Something that's been sleeping for a long time. Maybe years. Maybe your whole life. And it's looking at you right now saying, are we doing this or not? Are we finally going to stop talking and start moving? Are we going to keep being the person who watches, or are we going to become the person who does? That thing inside you is tired of waiting. It's tired of excuses. It's tired of next week and next month and next year. It wants to go. Right now. Today. And so the only question left is, are you going to listen to it this time? Or are you going to do what you always do? Roll over. Hit snooze. Open your phone. Scroll through somebody else's life. Tell yourself you'll start Monday. Go back to the same comfortable routine that's been slowly killing everything good inside you. Because that's an option too. That's always an option. Nobody is forcing you to change. Nobody is going to drag you into the life you were meant to live. You have to walk there yourself. And it starts with one step, one decision, one moment where you say the excuses are finished and I am not. It was always supposed to be you. You just let the noise talk you out of it. So turn the noise off. Shut out the doubters. Shut out the haters. Shut out the voice in your own head that keeps telling you you're not enough. Because that voice is a liar. It's been lying to you your whole life. And today, right now, is the day you stop believing it. Get up, lace up, and go to war with everything that's been holding you back. Starting with yourself. Why not you? Why the hell not you? Life is tough. Keep going, no matter what. You're gonna get hit. You're gonna get knocked down. You're gonna lose things you thought were yours forever. People you loved are going to walk away. Doors you were counting on are going to slam shut in your face. Plans you spent months building are going to crumble overnight, and nobody is going to feel sorry for you. Nobody is going to pause the world and say, hey, let's give this person a break. That's not how it works. Life doesn't care about what you planned. Life doesn't care about what you deserve. Life is going to test you over and over and over again. And the only question that matters is, are you going to keep going? Or are you going to lay down and let it beat you? Because life will beat you if you let it. Life will chew you up and spit you out and not think twice about it. But here's the thing. It can only beat you if you stop fighting. The moment you decide, I'm not done yet, everything changes. Not your situation. You change. And that's where it all starts. Most people think they want success. They think they want a better life. They think they want to be somebody. They think they want freedom and money and respect and all the things that come with being great. But the truth is, most people don't want it bad enough to suffer for it. They want the reward without the pain. They want the trophy without the fight. They want to cross the finish line without running the race. And that's why they stay exactly where they are, year after year after year, wondering why nothing ever changes. Nothing changes because you haven't changed. Nothing moves because you haven't moved. You're sitting in the same spot, doing the same things, talking to the same people, thinking the same thoughts, and expecting a different result. That's not hope. That's insanity. If you want something different, you have to do something different. If you want your life to look different a year from now, you have to start living differently today. Not next Monday. Not after the holidays. Not when you feel ready. Today. Let me tell you something that most people will never accept. The hard times are the good times. I know, that sounds crazy. I know, when you're in the middle of it, when you're broke, when you're lonely, when you're exhausted, when everything is going wrong, it doesn't feel like the good times. It feels like punishment. It feels like you're cursed. But those moments right there, those are the moments that are building you into something. Every scar you earn is a lesson you learned. Every night you stayed up worrying is a night you were preparing for something bigger. Every time you got knocked down and got back up, you added steel to your spine. The easy times don't build you. The easy times don't teach you anything. The easy times make you soft. They make you comfortable. They make you forget what you're made of. But the hard times remind you. They strip away everything fake and show you what's real. And what's real is that you're still standing. What's real is that after everything life has thrown at you, you haven't quit yet. And that means something. You're tired. I know. You've been carrying weight that nobody else can see. You've been fighting battles that nobody else knows about. You smile during the day, and you break down at night. You tell people you're fine when you're far from it. You keep showing up even though every part of you wants to disappear. And nobody gives you credit for that. Nobody sees how hard it is for you just to get out of bed some mornings. Nobody sees the war inside your head, but I see it. And I need you to know that what you're doing right now, just by not quitting, just by still being here, is one of the bravest things a human being can do. It's easy to keep going when everything is great. Any fool can do that. But to keep going when your world is falling apart, when you've got nothing left in the tank, when your faith is shaking and your confidence is shattered, that takes something special. That takes something most people don't have. And you have it. You might not believe that right now, but you do. You know what the biggest lie in the world is. That one day, things will just get better on their own. That if you wait long enough, your problems will solve themselves. That time heals everything. Time doesn't heal anything. Time just passes. What heals you is what you do with that time. If you sit in your pain for 5 years, you're not healed. You're just 5 years deeper into your pain. If you spend 5 years working on yourself, getting stronger, getting smarter, getting tougher, then yeah, you're healed. But it wasn't time that did it. It was you. It was the decision you made to stop waiting for a miracle and start being your own miracle. Stop waiting for someone to come along and fix your life. Stop waiting for the perfect opportunity to fall in your lap. Stop waiting for the motivation to hit you like lightning. None of that is coming. The only thing coming is more time passing. And that time is either going to work for you or against you, depending on what you do with it. Everybody wants to talk about their dreams. Everybody wants to tell you what they're going to do someday. Someday I'm going to start that business. Someday I'm going to get in shape. Someday I'm going to leave this job I hate. Someday I'm going to fix my life. But someday isn't a day. You can look at every calendar ever made, and you will never find someday on it. Someday is a lie you tell yourself so you can sleep at night without feeling guilty about wasting another day. Someday is the drug that keeps dreamers asleep. You want to know the difference between the people who make it and the people who don't. The ones who make it replace someday with today. They stopped talking and started doing. They stopped planning and started building. They stopped waiting for the stars to align, and they went out there and rearranged the stars themselves. That's what it takes. Not talent, not connections, not luck. Just the refusal to wait one more day.
So bad news. The call won't start. But don't worry. I'll call my guy.
Your guy.
I want to talk about pain for a second. Because everybody runs from it. Everybody avoids it. Everybody treats pain like it's the enemy. Like it's something that shouldn't be happening to them. Like the universe made a mistake by putting them through it. But pain is not the enemy. Pain is not a mistake. Pain is the teacher. Pain is the only teacher that never lies to you. Pain is the thing that shows you where your limits are so you can push past them. Pain is the fire that burns away everything weak in you and leaves behind only what's strong. Think about the gym. You don't grow muscle by lifting weights that feel comfortable. You don't get stronger by doing things that are easy. You grow muscle by lifting weights that hurt. By tearing the fibers so they grow back thicker and stronger than they were before. Life works the exact same way. The things that hurt you the most are the things that grow you the most. The breakup that shattered you taught you what you really need in a person and what you'll never accept again. The failure that embarrassed you in front of everyone taught you what not to do next time and gave you thicker skin. The betrayal that broke your trust taught you who deserves to be in your life and who was never really on your team to begin with. The job you lost taught you to never put your security in someone else's hands. Every painful thing you've been through has given you something. A scar, yes, but also a lesson. You just have to be willing to see it. You just have to be willing to learn from it instead of running from it. Here's what nobody tells you about the journey. Most of it is ugly. Most of it is boring. Most of it is just you alone in a room doing work that nobody cares about. There's no crowd cheering. There's no music playing. There's no montage where you go from zero to hero in 3 minutes. It's just you showing up day after day, doing the same things over and over, and hoping that one day it'll add up to something. And that's where most people quit. Because it's not exciting. Because it doesn't feel like progress. Because they expected fireworks and got silence instead. But the silence is where the magic happens. The boring days are the most important days. The days where nothing happens are the days where everything is being built underneath the surface. Just like a seed growing underground. You can't see it, you can't feel it, but it's there. It's pushing through the dirt. It's reaching for the light. And one day it breaks through and everybody sees it. But the growth happened in the dark. The growth happened when nobody was watching. The growth happened in the boring, silent, ugly middle part that nobody wants to talk about. Discipline is going to save your life. Not motivation. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings come and go like weather. You can't build a life on feelings. You can't build anything that lasts on something that changes every 5 minutes. One day you feel on top of the world, and the next day you can't get off the couch. That's motivation. That's what you've been relying on. And that's why you keep starting and stopping. Starting and stopping. Starting and stopping. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline shows up on the days you don't want to. Discipline gets out of bed when every part of you is screaming, "Stay down." Discipline does the work when nobody is watching and nobody is clapping and nobody even knows you exist. That's the difference between people who achieve things and people who just talk about achieving things. The achievers aren't more motivated than you. They're more disciplined. They built a system. They built habits. They built a routine that doesn't depend on how they feel when they wake up. And over time, those habits, those routines, those small daily disciplines compound into something massive. Something that the people who waited for motivation will never have. Let me talk about the people around you for a minute. Not everybody in your life wants to see you win. I know that's hard to hear. I know you want to believe that the people closest to you are rooting for you. And some of them are, but some of them aren't. Some of them are comfortable with you being exactly where you are because your growth makes them feel small. Your ambition reminds them of everything they gave up on. Your discipline makes their laziness look worse. And instead of being inspired by you, they resent you for it. They'll tell you to slow down. They'll tell you to relax. They'll tell you you're doing too much. They'll say, "Who do you think you are?" They'll call you obsessed like it's an insult. But obsessed is what you need to be. Obsessed is how you get to the other side. Obsessed is how you build something from nothing. So, let them talk. Let them judge. Let them laugh. Because one day when you're standing where they said you'd never be, you won't have to say a single word. Your life will speak for you. You want to know what separates the people who make it from the people who almost made it. It's not the ones who had the most talent or the best start or the most resources. It's the ones who stayed. The ones who didn't leave when it got ugly. The ones who were still in the room when everybody else had walked out. Success has a funny way of rewarding the person who refused to go home. Ah, you think you're not making progress. You think nothing is happening. You think all this work is for nothing. But it's not. Every single day you show up, you're getting closer. You just can't see it yet. The results are coming. The breakthrough is coming. But it's not coming on your schedule. It's coming on its own schedule. And your only job is to still be there when it arrives. Don't quit on the 3-yard line. Don't walk away when you're one push away from breaking through. The people who win aren't the ones who never struggled. They're the ones who struggled the longest and never stopped. I need you to stop being afraid of failure. Failure is not the end. Failure is information. Failure is the universe telling you that didn't work, try something else. Every successful person you've ever admired has failed more times than you've even tried. They just don't broadcast it. They don't post their losses on social media. They don't talk about the nights they cried themselves to sleep or the mornings they woke up and didn't know how they were going to make it. But those nights exist. Those mornings exist. Behind every success story is a failure.